Follow Altavista Colonels basketball all season long on 105.5 KD Country and kdcountry.com.
A short drive will save you money.
Buying a car at Feller Chevrolet has never been a hassle, but during our no-hassle sale, it's even easier. All new and used vehicles are priced and marked with rock-bottom prices on the lot and on the web. To make car shopping as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Come to Feller Chevrolet in Altavista or go to fellersdirect.com. 2. Pick the vehicle that fits your budget. 3. Drive it home today. No pressure, no hassle.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Hi, folks, I'm Adam.
And I'm Tony. We're your hosts for the Big Bluegrass Bonanza every Sunday night, 7 to 9 p.m. right here on 105.5 KD Country and at kdcountry.com. You'll hear some of the biggest names in bluegrass from yesterday and today. We'll also be featuring local bands as well.
The Big Bluegrass Bonanza is sponsored by Williams Body Shop, Webb Tire Company, CarQuest, Robinson Funeral Home, The Prospect Diner, Appomattox Outdoor Equipment, Sound Hall Studios, all in Appomattox, and B&L Carpet and Tile in Halifax.
Live from downtown Tight Squeeze, Virginia, Chatham High School. It's time once again for Colonels basketball on 105.5 KD Country. I am Kyle Haney with the Big O, Oscar Briggs, the voice of the Altavista Colonels. I don't know who dubbed you that, but we'll give it to you for now tonight anyway, Oscar. Colonels coming off the big win Saturday up at Rockingham High School over Stewart's Draft, 103-85. Wild and crazy game there. We'll get a chance to talk about that a bunch. I talked to Mike Carlero in the interview about it a bunch. This is the Subway pregame show, by the way, but I guess eventually we're going to have to move on from it, Oscar, right? We've got to play Chatham tonight.
Yeah, you do, and we do want to talk about it because it was such a special game, but you know, tonight we've got Altavista coming in at 5-2 against a 3-6 Chatham team, and anytime you come into Pittsylvania County and you come up against a Barry Mayo coach team, you're going to get a tough effort, and you better play good basketball.
Yeah, momentum really tends to swing quickly around here in Chatham, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of it. And certainly the Colonels have been on the wrong side of it in a few of our road trips down here to Chatham. But the Colonels have been pretty good down here recently, and the Colonels have been pretty good all season. Subway's always pretty good, 2 locations in Altavista, Main Street, and also in the Walmart on the Clarion Road. I take that back, Oscar. Subway's not pretty good. Subway, very good. And this is the Subway pregame show. And let's hear from the head coach, Mike Carlero. You're going to hear it all right after we come back from this timeout. Chatham, Altavista, tip-off about 18 minutes away on 105.5 KD Country.
If you're like me, life changes, and that brings up financial questions. I'm Vivian Brown of First National Bank, and we're excited to offer a new financial answer center that will help you better understand your own needs. It covers various financial topics, offers free quick guides, and if needed, access to a First National Bank employee. So go to our website at 1stnatbk.com and take a look at the new Financial Answer Center. It's a smart resource that could help you bring home more bacon. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here now on the Subway pregame show from downtown Tight Squeeze on a Tuesday evening. That must mean we're in town to play the Chatham Cavaliers, talking once again with the head coach, Mike Cardellaro and Coach C. Before we get to Chatham, we got to talk about that wild one Saturday up at Rockbridge against Stewart's Draft. You guys get the victory 103-85 in probably one of the strangest games that I can remember on the 105.5 airways. I imagine it ranks up there in strange ones for your career, I would think, as well, right?
Absolutely, and it's really what we expected. You know, we had a day to go over it and try to prepare the guys for it. And it's their style, and you just don't see anybody play that style. We talked about it the other day. It originated from Grinnell College in the Midwest. You know, the whole goal is to shoot a three in less than 10 seconds, shoot 40 a game, trap all over the floor, and physically exhaust the opponent. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not a whole lot to it other than can you survive or not. And for the most part, we thought the guys probably passed the test with an A.
Yeah, a big victory, and obviously you and I were just talking about point totals inflated. Darius Johnson with 35 and I think 10 or 11 rebounds, something like that. You guys had a lot of layups and a lot of shots from, 2, 3, 4 feet. Were you happy with the way you finished around the basket?
Well, we were 48 of 75, or 49 of 75 from 2, which is about 65%. Actually, at halftime, we said we'd missed about 14 within 8 or 10 feet. And the whole emphasis Friday was this is not a day to shoot threes. This is a day to finish in a lane because of the way they play. And at halftime, we were a little bit bothered that we should have finished a little bit more. But part of that too is that speed, the fatigue, those type things, and they're not all wide open layups. There's usually a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 where there's just enough bother by a defender there to maybe mess you up a little bit. But we felt like we were going to have to shoot real well from 2 and limit them from 3. But actually, they shot the best I've ever seen, and I've seen them 3 times in the last 2 years. They were 19 for 46 from 3, and like we talked earlier, they were contested threes, and they were backing up shooting those. So it's a good thing we shot what we did. Probably the biggest statistic, 2, one, we had 27 assists, which you would expect in a game like that, but we only had 11 turnovers in a game that really, it's like 2 games in 1 as far as stats are concerned. So that was a real factor. We didn't think their pressure bothered us. We handled it, and we went at them and scored.
Yeah, you guys did do a good job of taking care of the ball for the most part. One guy that had a phenomenal finish was Juan Thornhill on the one-handed dunk from the alley-oop. I know you don't discourage that kind of thing, and I know that it's exciting. Where do you stand? Do you feel like the dunk can be worth more than 2 points sometimes when it gets a team fired up in the way that he does sometimes? And not just Juan, but other guys that you have that can really get up like that.
Yeah, it can. And it's a double-edged sword, too, because if you're thinking about dunking all the time, it takes away from your game. So we've talked about it. We just got to, if the opportunity's there, hey, it's a great thing. Not many people can do it. Do it, and let's get on with business. And if it's worth more than 2 points to us, then that's good. That's an advantage for us. But we don't want to focus on it. If it happens, it happens.
Right. Final thought about the game Saturday, then we'll move on to Chatham quickly. It was a lot of fun from a broadcasting perspective, and I would think the fans as well. What about as a coach? Because I asked Mike Sharness, in the football season about this. Is it fun for you when the game's going on, or is it just fun once it's over? Is it more of a relief once it's finally said and done?
It's fun when it's over and you got one more point than they do. The game was such a breakneck pace going on. Coach Ward and Coach Harris did a great job of subbing bodies in because there was no way that where I was standing I could do that. But you're just never comfortable. And we talked about that Friday. A 12 or 15 point game one way can swing right back, and we told the guys. So from a coaching standpoint, it's not a lot of fun till it's over with. The spectators loved it, obviously.
Right. Well, that's what Coach Sharness said too. He said it's not much fun till it's done. All right, moving on to the Cavaliers tonight. They've got some experience, some guys back, a bunch of those guys that played football as well. And it's always tougher when you're in a Pittsylvania County school because it seems like the momentum you can get on the wrong side of that momentum in a hurry, especially down in a place like Chatham.
Absolutely, and Chatham does have a lot of guys back. Their guards are back, solid players. They got the good size. The Witcher boys are both about 6'3". Brown's about 6'3". They're going to go 9 or 10 deep. Giggets is a outstanding point guard. So they are a team that, like you said, you don't want to go down there and play these guys and let them get any reason to think they get going, and it's tough, and we talked about it in practice. First thing we got to do is survive the beginning of the game because of the excitement they're going to have of wanting to beat us.
Another 3-game week, and this will be the final thought for the interview with Coach Cardellaro here on the Subway pregame show. Would you like to get a little bit of a cushion so you could sub as much as you wanted to? I mean, no, it's not something. If you get a lead, you get a lead. You can't worry about it if you don't. But did the 3-game weeks even bother you anymore? You feel like your legs are pretty much there?
Well, we think that after Stewart's draft, maybe we're in a little better shape. Three games.
Lost a few pounds anyway.
Lost a little bit. We're trying to create some depth. And we felt like we had great depth on Saturday, even though it didn't translate into points. There were great minutes.
Right.
Navy, Nelson, Josh, Walker, those were great minutes. So because we're playing 3 games a week for the rest of the year, you know, the bench is going to make a big difference. Obviously, a lead would be nice,
right.
But you know, it is what it is, and we're going to play 3 a week, so we do have to have some bench.
Shout-out time here on the Subway pregame show, and I will say this, Coach. You had so many people up there in the stands from the Buena Vista crowd and the Buena Vista friends and family. Your wife, I thought she was a politician up there the way she was shaking hands and kissing babies on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, we definitely had a few people there we know, but knew that. But tonight, obviously, there's not many people down at Chatham. So big shout-outs to my dad, who really enjoyed the game Saturday. Dad's watching, or listening in, excuse me. In-laws Minnie and Billy in Orlando. Micah, Heather, and Miranda, McKinley, and Lil Micah, the big Manassas clan, are listening in. Sarah and Swanson, our neighbors. And Ashley's back at JMU. They finally went back to college after it looked like about a 2-month break. She's back and she's listening. I think Nick's listening in also, and all the Colonel fans out there.
Another 3-game week starts off with a tough test tonight in Chatham. Subway pregame show back after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
High school athletics builds character, teaches teamwork, and provides a solid foundation for life. PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this sports broadcast for your enjoyment. PCM Industrial Services encourages everyone to come on out and watch the game. It's a great time for the whole family. Cheer on the Colonels. PCM Industrial Services, the industrial maintenance and construction specialists, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality craftsmen since 1986. Good luck, Colonels.
This week's specials from your Apple Market convenience stores. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, 2 liters, 2 for $3. 5-hour energy drinks, now 2 for $5. Delicious chicken tender biscuits, 2 for $2.49. And be sure to try Apple Market's new roller grill products featuring Johnsonville brats. Apple Market locations, Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street in Altavista. You know what they say, an apple a day.
There are 2 kinds of country, the good stuff and the real good stuff. We play them both. 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Chatham High School. Chatham, Virginia, the site of tonight's contest. The Altavista Colonels in town to take on the Cavaliers. And Oscar, 3 road games in a row now. Well, Colonels were actually the home team Saturday, but it was they had to get on the bus and travel anyway. Not a bad 25, 30-minute ride down here to Chatham, but definitely a good opponent in store on the Subway pregame show. As we review that wild one Saturday, like you said, we'll have a chance to talk about it. Let's take that chance right now. 103-85, Colonels get the victory in a high-scoring affair, to say the least.
Boy, that is to say the least. And just some quick stats from that game. The Colonels shot 48 out of 75 from the field for 64% on 2s, Kyle, and 4 or 5 from the line. Only hit 1 3-pointer. Just 403 points, and you only hit 1 3. That's probably never been done before.
Yeah.
And let's talk about some individual efforts. Juan Thornhill, 10 of 11 from the floor, 91%, 20 points. Darius, 16 of 21 for 76%, 35 points. Demetrius, 6 out of 10, 60%, 13 points. Key Richard Hubbard broke out of his shooting slump. He was 5 for 9. Good to see that. And Michi was 8 out of 15. So just incredible stats. 14 steals, 4 blocks, 27 assists on 48 field goals. Coach Carter had to be pleased with that.
Yeah, I think he was very excited about the way the game turned out. And, a lot of that, again, the high scoring was a byproduct of the system that Stuart's draft was playing, that up-tempo style where they were pressing, run-and-gun offense, to say the least, trying to shoot a three minimum of every 10 seconds. And the Colonels, really proved, hey, they can play a different style of basketball, too, and still come out a winner. I don't know that it's one that I don't think Coach Mike Cardellaro is going to try and copy that style or anything, but the Colonels did handle that pressure very well.
Yeah, they did, and we mentioned the fact that the Colonels are 5-2. Of course, they lost the first game to Goochland in an overtime situation, lost by 2, had an opportunity to win that game, still had their football legs under them. First game back, had only been in the gym a week. Then they got into the Christmas tournament, Nottaway, Robert E. Lee, took care of both of them. Then they won against Gretna and lost to Dan River in a very, very close ball game, and again, an opportunity to win. So they've lost those 2 games by a total of 3 points, and it looks like after Saturday that the football kids are starting to get their basketball legs back under them.
Yeah, I agree with you. 2 very close losses, like you said, a combined 3 points. Other than that, a lot of blowout wins. I'm not really going to call Stuart's draft Saturday a blowout, though. That was a close game for a while, and that's been the closest win that the Colonels have had so far. Tonight might be even closer, though. Never know. Good Cat Squad. We'll take another time out here on the Subway pregame show, and we'll talk about this game, get you some particulars and all that, and probably talk about Subway even a little bit more because it's just too good to go unnoticed. That's for sure, Oscar. Tip-off about 5 minutes away here from Chatham High School. Colonel's in town to take on the Cavaliers. You'll hear it all on 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back at Chatham High School Subway pregame show. Kyle?
Fun time as always down here at Chatham, Oscar. Been big thanks to Mr. Darrell Wilkerson from the Pittsylvania County IT department getting us on the air tonight with our tie line system, and we get to see old Mr. Haymore, one of our favorite officials of all time down here. Whenever he mainly sticks in the South Side area here, Dan River, Chatham, Gretna, that kind of thing.
And HF's been doing it a long
Yep.
time, and you mentioned he's one of the best, and he absolutely is one of the best. Great guy, too.
Oh, absolutely. And, that's the thing about you, Oscar, is you're the best color guy, but you're not a great person. No, I'm just kidding. That's just a joke. I'll tell you, the people that are always great are the folks at Subway that take care of you when you go in there. Oscar and I were in there, not together, but we were in there at the same time, and Kendra and Tierra making all the subs and salads. And pizzas.
Yeah, and I had the opportunity to talk to Robert Duff last night, and as always, he's always concerned about the customer care with everybody, not just us because we're doing the radio, but every customer that comes in gets treated just top of the line. It's a great place to go.
That's exactly right, and shout-outs to them because I think they are listening tonight. And I know some other people are listening as well, Coach Cardellaro with his usual shout-out list. And we'd like to develop one, too, so let us know on Facebook. I know Coach Ward's family, Gwen, Nolan, and Jude, are at home listening. So big hello to them from Coach Ward and the entire gang. And Coach Harris's JV squad losing tonight in Chatham to the Daniel Rogers-led junior varsity Cavaliers. Good JV game. You and I are both into that as much as we have been in any game. They're announcing the starting lineups now, Oscar, so I guess we'll follow suit.
First for Chatham, they're going to start with number 10, Ray Gidget, number 12, Roderick Taylor, number 24, Quadjay Witcher, number 32, Quadre Witcher, and number 42, Chiron Smith. And, of course, a lot of those names we recognize from the football team as well.
Yeah, 8 seniors, too, on Barry Mayo's squad, so they've got some experience, and the rest of them are all juniors, just one sophomore. So it's an experienced team, and they've been playing together for a while, and like you said, not just on the basketball court, the football field as well.
And equally as loaded with juniors as the Altavista team. Number 1, Michi Malbeck, he'll be at point. He's a junior. Number 2, Juan Thornhill, another junior. You'll see him at the small guard and small forward position. Number 5, Demetrius Johnson, a junior. Number 10, Darius Johnson, a junior. And then the other guard in the 3-guard rotation for Coach Cardellaro is number 12, Richard Hubbard. He is a senior.
Yeah, 1 senior in that starting lineup. Rest of them are juniors. A lot of juniors on this Altavista Ball Club. And it's now time to step aside for the national anthem. We'll take a 1-minute timeout, then back with the tip-off here from Chatham. Altavista versus the Cavaliers right here on 105.5 KD Country.
Brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
Tyree Little Heating and Cooling in Gretna, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter and comfortable in between.
Sharky's Pest Control. Let Tony take a bite out of your pest control needs. Doing business the old-fashioned way.
Main Street Trading Company Consignment, now open Wednesday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. till 4.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only at El Cerrito.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, priced right, financing available. That's Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
National anthem wrapping up here from Chatham High School.
Lee Greenwood, well-known version.
And it was a very good version indeed. Probably not quite as good as that version we had up there at Stewart's Draft Saturday, Oscar, but a very good rendition here from Chatham High School. And a good crowd down here in Chatham. You know, it's not a big gym. It's really the same size gym as Gretna and Dan River and Tunstall. And none of them are very big, and these places can fill up pretty quick. Tonight, no exception.
Well, anytime you got the defending state champions coming in, you got a target on your back, which the Altavista Colonels are. You're going to draw a crowd. And
right.
The Pennsylvania County schools going up against, Altavista from Campbell County, they want to beat us.
Yeah, it's it definitely Altavista seems to draw a crowd everywhere they go. And, with good reason there, I think. Like you said, defending state champs, everybody's probably heard a little bit about how good this Colonel Ball Club is. And Chatham's always got a pretty loyal fan base anyway. They seem to draw a big crowd no matter what. Colonel's in the road black jerseys. It's the new black jerseys. Second time we've seen them. We saw them up at Nelson. It's mainly just orange. No really white trim in there at all. And everybody's going with black shoes, black socks. Colonel's in the, Chatham in the home whites. Altavista wins the tip-off. Juan Thornhill controls it. Now over to Richard Hubbard. Looks like the Chatham Cavaliers in a 2-3 zone to start things out earlier. Maybe it's perhaps a 1-3-1 zone.
That's absolutely right, Kyle. It is a 1-3-1, and they've scouted Altavista. They're going to make Colonel shoot from outside.
And maybe not a bad idea, although we have seen the Colonels knock down their fair share of threes. Michi Malbec thought about one. Now he pulls up from about 15 feet off the side of the backboard. No good. Rebounded by Chiron Smith. Tried to drop it ahead to a teammate, but nobody there. Michi Malbec steals it away. Thornhill will bring it in just in front of half court. In between the circles now. He holds on to it over to Hubbard. Right wing. Now back to Juan Thornhill, middle of the court. Left side over to Michi Malbec. Goes out of bounds right into the Chatham bench, and it'll be a turnover.
7:20 remaining here in the first quarter with no score. And after that possession, it seems like they were in the four corners after Saturday's game.
Yeah, Colonel's definitely a little bit slower tempo so far. 0-0, 7:12 to play. Ray Jiggets controlling for Chatham. Now he gets it back after a handoff from Rod Taylor, and they're going to call Jiggets for the travel. Jiggets is one of the better guards in the area. He's just a junior, but we saw him last year really light it up from outside, and that was somebody that concerned Coach Cardallero coming into this game. 0-0 still, 7 minutes to play now. Over to Richard Hubbard. Right wing back to Juan Thornhill, middle of the court. Looks like it is a 2-3 zone now, so maybe Coach Mayo going to employ a couple different zones to try and keep Altavista off balance. Working so far. No buckets from either team. Just a one-shot attempt from Michi Malbec.
Colonel's being very patient.
Demetrius Johnson has it, free throw line extended. Now he's falling over as he was really hampered by some defense. Maybe a foul possibly called in there, but probably a good no call, especially this early in the game. Thornhill, go ahead, Oscar.
6:35 remaining here in the first quarter, no score. The Colonels are asking Chatham to come out of that zone. They're holding the ball out at the top of the key.
Yep, Juan just held on to it on his hip there for a solid 25 seconds. Demetrius now in the perimeter. Has it looking inside for his brother Darius, but couldn't get it to him. Now Juan Thornhill, right-hand dribble, going to circle the defense, pull up at the foul line. Not going to shoot, going to pass to Hubbard and gets it right back. 6:15 to play now. 0-0 score here in the Apple Market first quarter. Malbec holds it over his head. Now back to Thornhill standing in the half-court circle.
Well, Chatham is packing it in. They're going to make the Colonels absolutely make them shoot from
Colonels
outside.
have not got the basketball in the paint once yet so far here in the first 2 minutes. Darius gets it in the paint now, puts up a shot. Side of the iron wouldn't go in. Demetrius tried to tip it back in, but he couldn't get it to go either. 0-0 still the score. 5:49 to play now.
And that was Chatham's only second possession, Kyle.
Yep. And second possession went up, a three-point attempt from Witcher. He got his own rebound. He's going to pull up from 15 feet. This one's no good as well. Darius Johnson has this rebound. Almost lost it momentarily, but does control it. Thornhill going to try and beat the zone now. Got it tipped away from him. Poke check, if you will. And I think Juan definitely wanted to try and get the basketball down before Chatham could get set up in the zone, but a good recovery on the defensive end by the Cavaliers.
That's exactly what Coach Cardallero was trying to get him to do, was beat that zone down 4.
Thornhill has it again after the inbounds play. 5.5 minutes to go now. 0-0 score. 2 shot attempts from both teams. Neither of them good. And like I mentioned, nobody's really got in the paint much just yet.
One shot by Johnson.
All the action's taking place around the perimeter. Malbec trying to split the defense. Kick out to Thornhill. Juan for 3, and he wedged it in between the rim and the backboard. Always a little comical when that happens, unless you're the shooter, and it's kind of embarrassing when it happens.
And we saw that in the JV game as well.
Yeah.
So that's back-to-back games, and it's an oddity for it to happen once, and we've seen it in back-to-back games. Colonel's picking up full court.
Full court man-to-man. Long inbounds pass from Chatham. They get it right to half court to Rod Taylor. Taylor lost from the dribble momentarily. Now he's able to pass it away to Jiggets. Jiggets about a foot in front of half court line, and he accidentally elbowed Michi Malbec. He got himself some room, then made a nice feed to Chiron Smith on the low block. Malbec going to try and shake that one off. We actually saw that against Nelson where Michi took a little shot to the face. And, again, totally unintentional. But obviously something that doesn't feel good if you're on the receiving end of it. 2-3 zone again as Juan Thornhill has it. About 30 feet away from the basket. He'll get it right back after a quick pass to Hubbard. Demetrius Johnson now down low to brother Darius. Darius off the glass, won't go in. Michi tried for the rebound and couldn't get it. Comes down to the Cavaliers. Here comes Jiggets. 2-0 lead for Chatham, and they have the basketball back. Malbec guarding Jiggets again, and Malbec just going to pick his pocket. Nice takeaway there from Michi. Michi up for the layup. He got fouled by Jiggets. I think Michi thought maybe an intentional foul, but Jiggets went for the basketball there, and I think they're going to say...
It'll be interesting to see if it's going to be on the floor, and they're going to call on the floor. I think that's probably a good call.
Yeah, 2-0 early lead for the Chatham Cavaliers. 4:16 to play in the Apple Market first quarter. Michi to inbound underneath Altavista's scoring basket. Tried to throw it long on a baseball pass and just got swatted away by Chiron Smith. Michi, Malbec, and Smith sharing a few words about the previous play. Now bounce passes into Thornhill. Thornhill will try for a three-point attempt. Front iron no good, then bounces long. Rebound comes down to Chatham. Here they come in transition. Nice bounce pass. Witcher to his brother Witcher. Chiron Smith cleans up the rebound. 4-0 advantage for the Chatham Cavaliers. 4 minutes to play.
Chiron Smith 4, Colonels nothing.
That's exactly right. Smith has some size inside, and he's built exactly like the Johnson brothers. If they looked alike in the face, you would think they were triplets. But Smith definitely a good inside player for the Chatham Cavaliers.
Another interesting twist, as the Colonels came across half court that time, they picked them up in a half court zone trap.
Yep. Coach Mayo throwing some different looks at Altavista. Darius Johnson going up for it. He's blocked, but he's fouled in the act, so he'll go to the free throw line. Foul's going to be on number 12. That's Roderick Taylor. That'll be his first.
And Taylor, another kid that's built like the Johnson kids.
Yeah.
6'3", 6'4", around 210, well put together.
First free throw attempts of the night. And the first one is converted by Darius Johnson. 4-1 now. Altavista has cracked that goose egg on the scoreboard. 3:38 left to play in the Apple Market first quarter. And remember, with 3 great locations, Main Street, Gateway, and Riverside, there's always one nearby in Altavista. Second free throw, no good. And a quick rebound and outlet pass by Chatham. Here they come down in transition, score the bucket for number 32, Quadre Witcher, 6-1. Boy, the Cavaliers really on the missed free throw got out in a hurry and ran the fast break offense.
Interesting that they're getting out and running, and the Colonels are really forcing the Colonels into a deliberate offense.
You're right. Hubbard has it. Middle of the court. Now over to Thornhill, right wing. Juan tried to attack the baseline, got cut off, swings it cross court to Michi Malbeck. Michi will fire up a 3. Front iron, no good. Rebound still loose, collected by Demetrius Johnson and the Colonels. Then he lost it. Here comes Chiron Smith. 2-on-1 effort with him and Rod Taylor, and he's blocked by Michi Malbeck. Great recovery on the defensive side there by Michi to come from behind and get the swat.
That was a great block by Michi. He's got, Taylor's got about 4 or 5 inches on him, and Michi went up and skied and blocked it, and he let him know about it, too.
Cody Coburn, first substitute of the game for either team. He comes in for the Chatham Cavaliers. Starter still out there for the Altavista Colonels. Hubbard, the brothers Johnson, Michi Malbeck, and Juan Thornhill. Michi guarding Ray Jiggets now. Jiggets turns his back to the basket momentarily, and Michi picked his pocket again. Here comes Juan Thornhill to help him out. Juan takes the bounce pass, and then he is blocked on the backside, but they're going to call this a foul. Shot was no good. And now Juan Thornhill will go to the free throw line.
Boy, we talked about Jiggets being one of the better guards in the area. Michi Malbeck's picked his pocket twice tonight already, with 2:46 here remaining in the first quarter. Colonels trail 6-1. Juan needs to knock down these free throws and give the Colonels some confidence.
The second time the Colonels have been to the free throw line, and you're right, Jiggett's one of the best guards in the area. I think we all know Michi Malbeck, one of the best defenders in the area. So that's going to be a good battle to watch all night. First free throw, no good from Juan Thornhill. More substitutes checking in the game now for Chatham, Bobby Walker, and then Quad J. Witcher back in the ball game. Got to mention our wonderful sponsors, the next free throw attempt that we get. Our producer, Lee Cameron, back at home base, making it all sound good for you. Second free throw on the way, no good. Rebounded again by the Cavaliers. Boy, Cavs have been good on the glass, too, early so far, Oscar, as I'm getting choked up, having indigestion just thinking about these scoring woes that Chatham is having. Foul over there on the sideline as Witcher and Hubbard were going at it. They're going to get Quad J. Witcher for the foul.
And that's going to be the 4th team foul with 2:36 remaining in the first quarter. Colonels may find themselves at the free throw line a considerable amount here in the second quarter.
They're 1 for 4 from the free throw stripe so far, so they'll look to improve that if they do get some more chances to go. Hubbard, middle of the court, now over right wing to Michi Malbeck. Left wing to Juan Thornhill. Again, Colonels continuing to probe and work that perimeter. 3 ball on the way from Hubbard. Right at the side of the iron, no good. Rebounded by Chatham. Again, not many second chance points so far here for Altavista. Quadre Witcher coming down in a hurry. Now he slows it up, forces it out to his brother. Middle of the court, that's Quad J. Witcher. Right-hand dribble. He's guarded tightly by Juan Thornhill. Picks up his dribble now, looking for some help. Gets it to Coburn. Coburn will pull up just in front of the three-point line, knocks it down, and it's good. Great shot there from about 18 feet by Cody Coburn.
And Coburn's got a nice-looking stroke. That was that little mid-range jumper from, like you said, about 15, 17 feet. He knocked it down.
Altavista has to wait to inbound. Nelson Dews checking in the game now for Altavista. First substitute of the game for them. He comes in for Darius Johnson. 1:55 to play here in the Apple Market first quarter. 8-1. It's a Chatham lead. Bounce pass to Thornhill at the free throw line. Juan is converged on 4 Chatham defenders around him. Loose ball. Juan tries to tie it up with Bobby Walker, who was on the ground. And the possession arrow will favor the Chatham Cavaliers. So call that a turnover, Oscar.
Well, we talked about the difference in the tempo. Looks like the Colonel's having a tough time adjusting.
It is definitely an adjustment from Saturday night, where it was an up-tempo game. Colonel scored, I think, 26 in the first quarter. They're going to fall well short of that here in this first quarter. It's 8-1 right now. Referee H.F. Haymore conferring at the scorer's table. Maybe that possession arrow wasn't supposed to go to Chatham, although Altavista did win the tip. I remember that.
And while they're doing that, a shout-out to Surfside Beach, South Carolina. A young lady down there listening loves golf. Favorite tournament is the Masters. How about that?
I think the Masters is a great tournament. I can't wait till it comes around in April, and plenty of great places down there in Surfside to visit if you're ever in that neck of the woods. And we said it, we get listeners from all over. KDCountry.com, you can listen anywhere. South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, doesn't matter. Colonels will take over, so the possession arrow did favor Altavista. Don't know how it happened, but bit of a bonus maybe for the Altavista Colonels. Juan Thornhill has it. Right arc about 25 feet away from the basket. Hubbard trying to direct traffic a little bit, getting somebody that free throw line. He gets Thornhill there, and then he passes it to him. Michi Malback, left wing now, continuing to look inside. Colonels haven't got it in there much. Demetrius Johnson driving to the basket. He's blocked. And then he ended up coming down with the basketball. They call him for a travel. This will be Chatham basketball. 1:25 to play now in the Apple Market first quarter, 8-1. And, Oscar, you know everybody. We need to put you in charge of the shout-outs.
No. I can't handle that responsibility.
Cavaliers getting it down quick. Layup was no good. Thornhill grabbed the rebound. Now he tries to run in transition. I'll have to slow it up a little bit. Wow, tight Chatham defense. And really the Cavaliers, you got to credit their spirited defensive effort for holding Altavista to 1 so far in this game, Oscar. 3 ball on the way from Michi Malback. Front of the iron, no good. Rebound comes down to Chatham. Cavaliers, again, have been really good on the glass. They get it to Coburn down low here right in front of us. We are courtside tonight here from Chatham. Ball partially blocked away, and Altavista comes away with it. Thornhill going to bring it up, middle of the court. Stops right at the three-point line. Now over to Nelson Dews. Dews looking inside. Right-hand dribble. Will bounce pass it back over to Juan Thornhill just in front of half court. Juan trying to split the D, and he is fouled. Looks like he was in the act of shooting. Should go to the free throw line and shoot a pair.
At the last minute, he acted like he was trying to pass it off. That may have been the strength of Be interested to see what they're going to do with this.
They are going to say he was in the act. I think you're right. Juan Thornhill kind of thought he was passing. And he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. Darius Johnson ready to check in after the first free throw. 8-1, Chatham advantage. 42 seconds left in the first quarter. I dare say this would be the lowest output that Altavista has put up in a quarter this year, and probably in a long, long time, really, when you think about it, Oscar.
Well, and you mentioned it earlier. You've got to credit Chatham's defense. They're smothering this 1-3-1, switching up to a 2-3. They're not giving the Colonels any breathing room at all.
Juan makes 1 of 2. Back in, went in 8-2 now. 38 seconds left to play in the first. Jump shot on the way from Coburn, and the Cavaliers no good. Nice rebound from Juan Thornhill right there at the free throw line. One hands it over to Michi Malback. Malback skying up for the layup. He's fouled. Shot won't go in, but they're back to the free throw line again, and it'll be the 16th foul on Chatham. So at least Altavista is going to have that working in their favor in the second quarter. They should be in the bonus here before you know it. Not to say that it's a guarantee, but they should be.
Well, they will from here on in. They'll be shooting. This is the 16th foul. Michi going to the line for 2, and it looks like the Colonels are making a conscious effort now to try to beat Chatham's defense back down the floor.
Yeah. First free throw rattles in and out, went front iron, then back iron, and then off the backboard and rolled off. No good.
And Colonels 2 for 7, I think, here tonight, Kyle.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's odd because they're shooting 70% from the free throw line for the year.
There are a lot of good shooters on this Altavista team, and they're usually very good from the free throw stripe. Second one on the way from Michi Malback. That one does go in. Swish, nothing but net. 8-3 now is your Chatham lead. I guess the one positive you're going to take away is Altavista's defense has been pretty solid, too.
Well, that's right. It's poorly as they've executed offensively. They're only trailing by 5 points.
Right.
And we know the Colonels can turn that around quickly.
Jiggets coming out quickly, middle of the lane, and gets it to go on the layup. Really, nobody would just get in front of him. And, boy, when Jiggets gets that head of steam, it is kind of hard just to step in front like that. 10-3. Chatham extends their lead. 16 seconds now to play in the aftermarket first quarter. Let's see if the Colonels hold for one. Wow, nice one-handed no-look pass to Darius Johnson. Is blocked away by Bobby Walker. Cavaliers are going to have about 8 seconds to get something up. They lead 10-3. They're looking to extend the lead at the end of the court. Jiggets looks up at the scoreboard, fires a long 3. No good. Rebound comes down to Thornhill. He puts up a desperation heave that was not close. We have played one here from Chatham. Cavaliers are on top, 10-3. Second quarter on the way when you come back on 105.5 KD Country.
Have you looked at your business banking fees lately? I'm Sean Stone with First National Bank, and we have the best business accounts which offer serious savings for your company. We have a full menu of business products from checking accounts and remote deposit capture to online banking. And we have a local merchant card representative who will customize services just for your business. So let First National Bank prepare an analysis of your current activity and show how we will reduce your banking fees. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Chatham High School, Colonels trail 10-3. Oscar Briggs, and low-scoring affair to say the least. Again, I will credit Altavista. They've been rebounding well on the defensive end. They haven't got many of their own rebounds, not many second-chance points for the Colonels when they're on offense, because Chatham is rebounding equally well on their defensive side.
Well, they are, and you know, this defense has shut Altavista's offense completely down. Nothing from the floor, all free throws.
That's incredible when you think about it. And when you think about how potent this Altavista offense is, right, Mr. Briggs? I mean, we've seen them score a million different ways so far this season.
Well, they have, and again, if you're Coach Cardellero, you're trailing 10-3, you're only down by 7.
Yeah.
And certainly the Colonels are capable of making that up in a couple of minutes.
Right. No, nobody's hitting the panic button, whether it's players or coaches, Coach C or any of his staff. Jiggets, right-hand dribble, now gets it over to Coburn on the kick out for 3. No good, rebounded by Michi Malbeck. So another one-and-done effort there from Chatham on their offensive side. Michi has it, point guard, middle of the court. Now over to Thornhill. Thornhill thought about passing, then went up for 2. Nice job attacking the defense. He's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. Shot no good.
And Coach Carlero's gone a little bit smaller. He's actually got Allen in now, who's been deadly from three-point range, along with Malbeck, Hubbard, and Thornhill. So it's a little bit smaller with just one of the Johnson kids in right now.
Yeah, and really 4 guys that can shoot that 3-ball. You mentioned Walker Allen out there. He's really knocked him down when he's had the opportunities. First free throw good by Juan Thornhill. 10-4 is the score now. 7:43 to play in the Apple Market second quarter. And Juan's second effort on the way for Altavista does go in as well, 10-5. So the Colonels now, I believe, have hit 3 in a row from the free throw line, so they are improving there. Jiggett's going to bring it up rather slowly for him. Nice crossover dribble, trying to get to the middle of the court. Malbeck takes that away. Now Ray Jiggett's going to have to pass it up. Quadre Witcher, left hand, going to try and circle around the defense, and he is fouled.
First foul on the Colonels, Kyle. With 7:31 here remaining in the second quarter, so good job by them defensively. They need to stay out of foul trouble too.
You're right, they do, and it's another 3-game week, so it's going to test the body a little bit. Although I think the Colonel's fitness has never really been in question this year or in years past. Chiron Smith has it now for Chatham, hands it off to Quadre Witcher. Colonel's man-to-man defense very stifling. Here goes Smith, middle of the lane, layup attempt, won't go in. Nice rebound by Darius Johnson. Quick outlet to Juan Thornhill. Thornhill had to slow it down, had his head upfield, if you will, looking for a teammate, but couldn't find anybody in the fast break, so the Colonels will initiate their half-court offense.
When you talk about Jiggets, boy, he's got some kind of speed.
Yeah, very quick, and not just on a dead sprint, very quick side to side as well. 2-3 zone now, and Chatham doesn't want to come out of it. They got a 5-point lead, so you can't really blame them.
And rightfully so.
3-ball on the way, left wing. Michi Malbeck in and out, wouldn't go in. Colonels had a chance at a rebound, but it's controlled by Chatham, and look at how quick they get out. Coburn underneath the basket, layup attempt is good, and he's fouled by Michi Malbeck. Malbeck just got in there a little bit too late, and he actually hit Coburn on the way down. Man, as soon as Chatham got that rebound, they are out quick. The one outlet pass on the left sideline to Jiggets, and then Jiggets found Coburn streaking down in the middle of the lane. That's good fast break basketball.
Well, on that penetration, one of the guards has to rotate back and take the defensive position on that and stop that fast break, and the Colonels didn't have good rotation on that defensive side.
I'll tell you, Stuart Straff moved quickly down the court when they got a rebound, but I dare say they moved that quick. The difference is they would have pulled up for the 3-ball. Chatham went in for the layup. Free throw is converted, so Coburn gets the old-fashioned 3-point play. Now a full court press from Chatham. They lead 13-5. Thornhill going to take his time breaking it. Overhead pass to Darius Johnson. They do crack half court. He just hands it off to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard, chest pass over to Thornhill. Thornhill going to the lane and leaves it off. They're going to say foul underneath, and this is going to be on Chatham. Thornhill went up as if to go for the lay, and then he left it for Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah, and I think that the defender slid off of Juan a little bit. Juan probably had a pretty easy poop right there, but ends up with a foul. He'll be going to the line. I think he's shooting 1-and-1.
Yep. 1-and-1 signal from the official. Colonels do trail 13-5, 6.5 minutes to play in the half. Subway halftime show to follow us. First free throw does go down from Juan Thornhill, so we get a chance to try the back end.
3 in a row from one.
Yeah, and I think it's 4 in a row as a team, so they are improving there. This one up off back iron and in. Boy, reminiscent of that three-pointer from Duke last night. I don't know if anybody watched that UVA Duke game or not. A lot of contact inside. Thornhill fell down. He was guarding Quadre Witcher. Witcher fell down, too. I guess common sense says if 2 guys fall down, there's a foul somewhere, whether it's a charge or a blocking foul, but no whistle, and ball goes out of bounds.
Juan was retreating, and Witcher was coming at him full speed. I think he just got his feet caught up under himself, and so I think it was a good no call.
Colonels do break the full court pressure. Demetrius Johnson has it, 3-point line. He's being hampered. Now he'll dribble towards the middle of the lane. Thought about dunking it, just threw up a layup, but he's fouled. Won't go in. But he'll head to the free throw line to shoot another pair. Boy, Colonels, you got to give them a lot of credit in that regard. They've been doing well about getting to the free throw line.
And it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Still no bucket from the floor yet.
Wow. I hadn't thought about that. No field goals in this ball game yet for Altavista. Free throw on the way from Demetrius Johnson, up and in. Colonels, I think, 6 in a row now as a team from the free throw line. 13-8, they trail. 6:11 left to play in the Apple Market first quarter.
9 fouls against the Chatham Cavaliers, 2 against the Colonels, and a lot of times people will say that that's indicative of a homer job, but it's not. It's been a fairly good officiated game so far.
Yep. Altavista got the rebound on the missed free throw and then lost it. Didn't get a shot attempt up. Here comes Coburn from 3-point line right in front of us. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by Hubbard. Hubbard getting knocked around a little bit. He has to hand it off to a teammate. Now I head to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck coming right side of the lane. Layup goes in, and there's your first field goal. Finally converted by Michi Malbeck.
With under 6 minutes left.
Josh Jones scored the bucket for him and the Chatham Cavaliers. They came down very quick and answered. 15-10 now. 5-point lead for the home team.
Another situation where the rotation from the Colonels didn't get a defender back. Easy layup for Chatham.
Lob pass inside. They were looking for Demetrius Johnson, but he's fouled. Let's see who the foul is on. It's either on Bobby Walker or on Josh Jones. Both of those big guys were there. They're going to call it on Bobby Walker, another one of those seniors. Another guy that's built a lot like the Johnson twins.
And 10 team fouls with 5:27. Chatham may be getting in foul trouble, Kyle.
Yeah, that could become an issue later on. And it could become a place that the Colonels could really exploit a weakness from the Cavaliers. Cavaliers' team defense has been pretty tenacious, but they have committed too many fouls. First free throw in and out from Demetrius Johnson.
And it's not like the Colonels are throwing up bricks on their free throws either. They're rattling in and out. They're rimming in and out.
Walker Allen back in the game now for Altavista. He joins Demetrius Johnson, who's at the free throw line. Michi Malbeck, Juan Thornhill, and Richard Hubbard. 15-10 is your Chatham Cavalier lead. Demetrius sinks the second one, so call it 15-11 now. 4-point deficit that Altavista wants to make up. 5:22 to play here in the first half. Walker has it around the perimeter, lost it momentarily, then dishes it over to Quadre Witcher. Back to Walker. They tried to give and go game. He lost the handle, but Jones got it back. Shot attempt, no good. Rebounded by Demetrius Johnson. Juan Thornhill wanted his teammates to slow it down. Now Michi Malbeck will do it. Far in from us, Colonels are going right to left from our perspective, down to the far end of the gym. In the first half, Michi Malbeck spots up for 3 and cashes it in. 15-14 now. Altavista trails by 1.
Michi with 5 in the quarter, starting to pick up for the offense for the Colonels.
Michi definitely dangerous from the perimeter. He's a guy that can exploit that 2-3 zone if Chatham chooses to stay in it. Witcher takes it on the handoff from Walker, puts up the layup attempt, won't go in. It's rebounded by Walker Allen about 5 feet away from the basket. Thornhill.
Yep. Now the Colonels are starting to pick up the pace a little bit, forcing Chatham into a little bit more up-tempo.
You're right, and they're looking a little bit more confident as well. Demetrius had his shot attempt blocked. Colonels couldn't come away with points there. Chatham going quickly again on the fast break. Coburn lost the handle and slides out of bounds. Again, right here, about 5 feet away from us in this, we'll call it the right-hand corner of the gym that we're in here at Chatham.
And again, the Colonels are picking up their intensity on defense, Colin. A lot of times when you're stale on the offensive end, you can start to create stuff. You pick up the defensive intensity, and you turn the game around.
Defense leading to offense. Excellent observation by you. Richard Hubbard will bounce past it in. Chatham just set up in the half-court 2-3 zone. They did the full-court press for a while, but not here. Juan will hand it back to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard fakes a pass to the left and goes to his right to Thornhill. Thornhill, 16-footer, counts that one. Great pull-up jump shot from Juan Thornhill, and Chatham has lost it out of bounds. Michi Malbeck helping out with the pressure there, forcing the bad pass.
4:08 remaining here in the second quarter, and the Colonels finally take their first lead, 16-15.
1 point lead for the Altavista Colonels, first of the night, and they've certainly exploded scoring-wise. Malbec going to have to inbound it in front of the Chatham bench. 4:08 to play in the Apple Market second quarter. Apple Market, a proud supporter of the Altavista Colonels and high school hoops fans everywhere. Walker Allen has it now in front of half court. He'll run that point spot initially. Juan Thornhill. Easy for me to say.
As many times as we said his name this year, both between football and basketball.
I know. That's shocking. Walker Allen, 3-ball, good. Walker Allen from the left wing that time. Now the Colonels starting to really come alive. They lead by 4, 19-15. Just over 3.5 to play here in the first half.
Be interested to see if Coach Mayo stays in that zone or if he starts coming after a man.
Good point. Quadre Witcher, pull-up jump shot, no good. Rebounded by Rod Taylor. Taylor didn't get a good second chance attempt up, though, and that's no good. Rebounded by the Altavista Colonels, Darius Johnson. Thornhill fakes the pass. Little stutter step over to Allen. Allen, another 3-ball. This one's long, but Demetrius is there on the rebound. He got blocked from the backside and fouled. Shot wouldn't go in. He'll head to the free throw line again. This foul is on number 24, Quadre Witcher.
Of course, whether he's an active shooter or not, going to the line for 2 now.
Yeah, double bonus situation. I think that's the 12th team foul on Chatham. On Chatham. Colonels have just committed 2. First free throw, up and in from Demetrius Johnson. Boy, great time to mention our sponsors. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. English Construction Company, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Keller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. El Cazor Mexican Restaurant, the happiest place in town. We'll tell you about all the other ones here in just 1 second. Next free throw is down for Demetrius Johnson, so he converts both, 21-15. Chatham, really for the first time so far here tonight, has had trouble scoring, Oscar. Haven't scored in a long time. They need a bucket. They get it into Smith. His shot won't go in, and it's rebounded by Demetrius Johnson. So they'll have to go a little longer without a bucket. Here comes Thornhill. Right wing. Thought about the 3-ball attempt. Wow, quick pass into Darius Johnson from his brother Demetrius. Fell on the ground and picked it back up. Chatham wanted to travel. No whistle. Darius converts the 2. Good job by Darius staying after it there after falling down.
Absolutely.
Jiggets driving to the lane. Throws up a wild one. He got it near the rim, but he was fouled. It wouldn't go in.
Yeah, and Jiggets, he didn't have much of a shot that. He just forced. He wanted to get to the line. Yeah. It paid off. It worked.
Smart play. He saw Altavista's D was a little bit out of position. And, that's how Chatham got a bunch of those points earlier in the night, Oscar, was attacking the rim. And they did it again there. Jiggets on the free throw line. Eyes the iron, sticks it up and in. That is their first points in a while, at least 2 minutes, if not more. 23-16 now, the Altavista Colonel lead. And you can't forget the other people that brought you this game, like English's, your complete home center. Headquarters for Davis Paints, Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. Family serving families since 1905. Apple Markets, 3 great locations. PCM Industrial. Maintenance, repair, and other plant services to industrial and utility clients since 1986, and Tyree Little Heating and Cooling.
And Kyle, the Colonels have outscored Chatham 20-7 so far in the second quarter.
Both free throws in there by Ray Jiggets. Colonels break the full court pressure. Malbec is fouled going in for the layup. Shot never even got to the iron, but Michi will get to go to the free throw line. 23-17, the Colonel lead. Michi can add on here. 2:40 to play in the Apple Market, second quarter.
And Coach Carvalero just told all his players on the bench, take it to the hoop. They'll foul you every time. Yep. And he's right.
And with the foul trouble Chatham is in, they're either going to have to go deep into that bench because of the foul trouble, or they're just going to have to let Altavista drive and give them the layup. First free throw in by Malbec.
And the percentages of free throw shooting are now catching up with the Colonels. A slow start, but they're starting to knock down. They've knocked down 9 out of the last 10.
Yeah, great job by Altavista from the free throw stripe, particularly here in the second quarter. 25-17, they lead. Jones has it. Free throw line extended. Holds it over his head. Couple spin moves. Looking for help. Great, tenacious man-to-man defense from the Altavista Colonels. Quadre Witcher going to drive the lane, right side of the lane. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. So, again, Chatham doing what Altavista was doing, trying to take it to the basket, get it close proximity. A lot of times you will draw that foul. Witcher did just that, and he'll shoot a pair with 2:22 to play here in the half.
Well, when you look at it, it's a little bit of a mismatch between Witcher and Hubbard because of the wingspan, the height of Witcher. But, Richard Hubbard doesn't get enough credit for his defense. He's tenacious. He's not the most athletic kid. He's not the quickest, but, man, he will stick with you.
Yeah, and savvy, too. Really knows the game. And I think has the ability to know what an opponent is going to do. Maybe if a guy's got a favorite move, whether it's a crossover, a spin move, that kind of thing. Hubbard seems to know it very well. Rebound does come down to Chatham, though. Jiggets controls in the far corner. Going to bring it out middle of the court. Now he'll pull up for three, and that's good. That's where he's dangerous. He sort of lulled the Altavista defense to sleep and then just pulled up for three. Got a 5-point ball game again. Colonel's lead 25-20. Thornhill going to walk it down. 2-minute warning about to be reached here from Chatham.
And you said he lulled a player to sleep from Altavista. He lulled Juan Thornhill to sleep, and Juan is not happy with himself for letting that happen.
Thornhill going to pull up from 16 feet again. Back iron, no good. Rebound is loose, knocked away. Let's see who they call it to. They're going to say it's going to stay with Altavista.
Well, I tell you what, Michi Malbec is flying all over the place tonight.
He is. He's got a great vertical leap, and he really has that ability to anticipate where the rebound is going to go. You know, he can tell if it's going to come off long or short or off the side. Does that very well. Colonel's to inbound. Thornhill doing the honors. Gets it into Michi Malbec. Malbec crossover dribble. Lost it momentarily. Has to bounce pass it out of there to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard 2 feet in front of half court. Looking to set up the offense. Chatham back in the 2-3 zone. Not really extending it past the three-point line. Malbec left wing. He thought about a three. Get the defense in the air. Now down low to Darius Johnson. Johnson, left-hand block. Scored the bucket on the layup off the glass right there for Darius Johnson. Good finish from the big man. 27-20.
Nice job by Darius, but using his body, using his lower body to move the Chatham defender out of the way.
Yeah, Rod Taylor lost it on the dribble. Fell down. Going to get helped up from Demetrius Johnson. Good sportsmanship there by the two ball clubs. 27-20, Colonel's lead. Walker checking in the game now for Chatham. Altavista will inbound, got to go the length of the court. 1:18 to play. With the way Chatham's got the zone packed in, they could hold it for the entire minute plus if they wanted to. Thornhill thought about a long-range three. Now no look to Demetrius Johnson, the foul line. Colonel's lost it, taken away by Ray Jiggets and the Chatham Cavaliers. Jiggets coming down quickly. Right-hand arc to Witcher for three. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Altavista. Going to get a foul called here on the rebound. Demetrius had positioning. He was fouled by number 40, Bobby Walker.
Boy, that's got to be 14, 15 team fouls. And they're not showing the individual player fouls here, but they got to have some kids getting in foul trouble.
I agree. We'll find out at halftime from Altavista statistician Ryan Mitchell. 20-27, Chatham trails, and Demetrius Johnson on the free throw line again for Altavista to shoot two. Again, Colonels have been in double bonus for a while. First one goes up, first one goes in. On the court right now for Altavista, Darius Johnson, Demetrius Johnson, Juan Thornhill, Michi Malbec, and Richard Hubbard. Those are the starters. 28-20. Colonel's lead now 29-20. Demetrius makes both.
And that's Demetrius' sixth free throw in this quarter.
Man, Colonels really have been good in the second quarter from the free throw line, Oscar. It's pretty impressive, actually. Jiggets controls it middle of the court. Chest pass over to Quadre Witcher. Motion offense being run right now by Chatham. Pressure man-to-man defense from Altavista, and they get a steal. It was Darius Johnson that intercepted the cross-court pass. Here comes Thornhill, middle of the lane. Looking for action, went up and got blocked. No call there after some contact. Jiggets ahead to Coburn. Coburn jump stop, puts up the layup, and it gets it to go in. Malbec tried to chase him down from behind, but couldn't get there. 29-22. Altavista leads, under 30 seconds to play in the second quarter.
And Colonels have scored 26 in this quarter, which is about what they were scoring when they played.
That's right.
On Saturday. It's incredible because the pace hadn't been anywhere near like it was against Stuart Strath.
Yeah. Colonels, 3 points in the first quarter, 26 in this quarter. They lead 29-22, and they are going to hold for the last shot. 8 seconds. Juan Thornhill, middle of the court, 30 feet away from the basket. Now to Demetrius Johnson. Malbec, left wing. Three ball on the way. Front iron. No good. Thornhill with the tip in. No good either. And the final whistle, the halftime buzzer sounds. And both teams will go to the locker room. Colonels have a 7-point lead. Don't know that they're particularly thrilled about the way they played, though. We'll head to the Subway halftime show and talk about it. Short break here on 105.5 KD Country.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded, Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show underway. Colonels have a 29-22 advantage. Tale of two quarters there, Mr. Briggs. Low-scoring affair in the first quarter. A lot of defense, a lot of rebounding.
High school athletics builds character, teaches teamwork, and provides a solid foundation for life. PCM Industrial Services.
After the first quarter, 10-3, and you and I both were trying to remember when the Colonels had such a low-scoring quarter, and we said that the bright side was they only trailed by 7. Lo and behold, they exploded for 26. I say exploded, but it wasn't very obvious that that's what happened.
A lot of free throws, and I think that's the main reason why, right? I mean, the Colonels, it wasn't the high-scoring dunks and that kind of thing and the flashy stuff maybe that we're used to when they explode. A lot of points from the free throw line, and they did mix in the 3-ball there as well.
Yeah, they had 2 3-pointers, and, of course, 12 of those points came from the free throw line. Of course, when they're shooting free throws, the clock stopped. That certainly makes it appear that it's, those 26 snuck up on me. I'm not going to tell you a lie.
Well, the Colonels' defensive effort, I think you mentioned it, I mentioned it, did seem to improve there in the second quarter. Defense led to offense at times there, even if it didn't come directly off the turnover, getting more chances because you're limiting the the Cavaliers' chances. Anytime Altavista and Chatham play, I always mess up Colonels and Cavaliers. It's tricky. And, of course, I don't need any help in messing things up.
And neither do I. We're both experts in our own right.
Yeah, absolutely. On that note, let's take another time out. Somebody that's always an expert, Subway, Eat Fresh, 2 great locations, Main Street in Altavista, and also Walmart on the Clarion Road. We will step aside for a timeout here and let our sponsors do their thing. Quick timeout, then back with more Subway pregame show when we return on 105.5 KD Country.
High school athletics builds character, teaches teamwork, and provides a solid foundation for life. PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this sports broadcast for your enjoyment. PCM Industrial Services encourages everyone to come on out and watch the game. It's a great time for the whole family. Cheer on the Colonels. PCM Industrial Services, the industrial maintenance and construction specialists, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality craftsmen since 1986. Good luck, Colonels.
This week's specials from your Apple Market convenience stores. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, 2 liters, 2 for $3. 5-hour energy drinks, now 2 for $5. Delicious chicken tender biscuits, 2 for $2.49. And be sure to try Apple Market's new roller grill products featuring Johnsonville brats. Apple Market locations, Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street in Altavista. You know what they say, an apple a day.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
51 years of award-winning high school sports coverage here on 105 KD Country. And I'm sure glad that you are joining us. I know the big O here sitting beside me, Oscar Briggs, echoes those sentiments, whether it's at kdcountry.com or 105.5 on your FM dial. And remember, if you ever listen online, you can thank Walmart on the Clarion Road for that. Save money, live better, Walmart. And, of course, Oscar, this and every game available on YouTube on demand. If you want to hear it again or maybe you missed it, tell your friends. Tell your enemies, why don't you? It's all there at our YouTube channel at kdcountry.com.
Yeah, 2 minutes left here in the half. And Colonel's not back up on the floor, just now getting back on the floor. Run down some scoring real quick from Chatham. Ray Jiggets with 7. Cody Coburn with 7. Quadre Witcher with 2. Sharon Smith with 4. And Josh Jones with 2. For the Colonels, Michi with 8. Juan Thornhill with 7. Demetrius Johnson with 6. Darius Johnson with 5. Walker Allen with 1-3 for a total of 29. We talked about the foul situation with Chatham. They've actually done a pretty good job distributing the fouls among the players. Jiggets with 2. Roger Taylor with 2. Cody Coburn with 1. Quadre Witcher, the lone Cavalier, with 3, and he's in a little bit of a trouble. Bobby Walker with 2, and Sharon Smith with 2. Josh Jones with 1. So they've really done a good job.
Yeah, they have. It's pretty interesting to note. You know, we were speculating because they don't put the number up on the board here at Chatham, so sometimes it's hard for us to see. We're down here in the corner, courtside. Great vantage point, but sometimes it is hard to tell who the foul was on when the official signals it. And you're right, they have really spread them out. They spread them out. Some guards, some big men have them, so that's interesting from a lot of perspectives. Subway halftime show, always interesting. One more quick timeout, and then we're back with the third quarter here on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonel basketball to start the third quarter. Spin move in the lane there by Demetrius Johnson. Couldn't finish. Got his own rebound after a little poke tip away. Hubbard going to try the 3 ball from dead on. No good. Rebounded by Michi Malbeck. Couple second chances here on this possession for the Colonels early. Chatham in his zone again. Demetrius driving the baseline. Shovels it off to brother Darius, who couldn't control it. Taken away by the Cavaliers. 7.5 minutes to play here in the Apple Market third quarter. Same score, 29-22. Smith going up for 2. Gets it to go. Didn't have the best handle on the basketball, but he put it off the back window and in.
A little bit of a mismatch with that. Michi was trying to guard him on that play.
Michi has the basketball now. Cavaliers extending their 2-3 zone out just a hair more maybe here. Hubbard looked cross court and then got it middle of the court to Juan Thornhill. Thornhill, one dribble, then over to Hubbard again. Hubbard, left-hander, shoot a 3 ball, and he'll shoot it in. Great shot by Hubbard right there, 32-24. Colonels stretch out the lead. Under 7 minutes to play now, 6:55 to be exact, in this third quarter.
And the difference with that shot from Richard is he didn't hesitate. He went up with confidence and stroked it.
Yeah, he really did. Quick trigger there from the lefty, Richard Hubbard. And you get a turnover on a walking violation from Rod Taylor, so basketball going back to Altavista.
Of course, Chatham's come out with a little bit more intensity than they finished the second quarter with. Very similar to what they started the game with.
Hubbard has it left wing. Thought about shooting it from that same spot again, but passes up to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck will fire a 3, and his will be in. Middle of the court, dead on, drains it right there. Malbeck for 3. Back-to-back three-point attempts are converted by the Altavista Colonels. They lead 35-24.
And is Coach Mayo going to stay in that zone and continue to make Altavista shoot from outside? They're starting to knock them down.
Yep, I think maybe once it gets to a double-digit lead, you're not going to be able to do that. Chatham has to save it back in bounds. Walker gets it to Witcher. Witcher now pump fake. Now he'll use the dribble. Hesitation move back inside to Walker. Nice pass to find him, and then a good finish as well. Bit of an awkward play, but he got it again off the glass and in. Cavaliers do score, 35-26. Malbeck, chest pass to the right side to Hubbard. Hubbard now middle of the court, back to Michi Malbeck. Free throw line, then it gets out to Juan Thornhill along the perimeter. Thornhill behind the back, dribble, lost. Taken away by Bobby Walker. Walker now lost it. Has to get it back. He does. Gets it over to Jiggets. Cavaliers basketball. Nice spin move by Ray Jiggets. 3 ball in the way. Good. Ray Jiggets going to hold the follow-through on that one. 35-29, little back and forth basketball now. Bounce pass over to Hubbard. Colonels basketball again, middle of the court, back to Michi Malback. Malback looking inside, looking outside. Now you're going to get a foul away from the basketball. It's on Chiron Smith. Darius Johnson actually gave him a little shove right after the whistle, and he's lucky he didn't get called for one right after it. But the foul does go against Chatham.
And that's Smith's third, and they can ill afford to lose him underneath the hoops against the Johnsons.
Yeah, he is an intense physical presence underneath, and he was really battling against Darius. He'll stay in the basketball game. Darius battling on the inbounds play. They get it to him. He's blocked from behind, but fouled. Shot didn't go in. This one's going to be on Josh Jones, another big man for Chatham. Chatham does not lack size, Oscar, that's for sure.
No, they don't. They're long. They're athletic. They're going to cause some problems for some people down the road. It's kind of surprising that their record is what it is.
Yeah, you make a good point. I mean, I'm surprised Gretna hadn't won a game yet with their loaded squad that they have. First free throw, back iron, no good from Darius Johnson. Nelson Dews will check into the basketball game. No, Coach Carlero hasn't subbed a whole lot in this game. We've seen Dews some. We've seen Walker Allen. Davy Jones just a little bit, but not a whole bunch. Second free throw will go in. 36-29 now is the Altavista lead. 5:23 to play here in the Apple Market third quarter. Jiggets. Quick move to the lane, pull up for two, and he'll get fouled, but they're going to say it's on the floor. The shot did go in, but the foul was on the floor. So you'll wipe that basket off, and Chatham will inbound underneath their own scoring basket. They trail 36-29. Inbound play coming from the Cavaliers. Again, man-to-man defense from Altavista. High lob pass taken away by Juan Thornhill. Thornhill's going to streak down the right side. Hands it off to Nelson Dews. Dews converts the layup. Backboard was slapped right there late, but the officials didn't think it mattered. Score the bucket, 38-29. First points of the night for Nelson Dews.
Well, nice catch and shot in one motion from Nelson on that play.
Taylor, middle of the lane, going in for two. Can't get it to go in. Josh Jones got the rebound. He put it up. Might have been fouled. Now it's taken by Demetrius Johnson. He passes it ahead to Thornhill. Thornhill bounce pass to Demetrius. Demetrius lost it, and he stepped on the baseline, so it'll go as a turnover. Colonels maybe a little too quick there on that transition play.
Yeah, they were trying to get down before that Cavalier defense sets up.
Substitutes now for Chatham. Coburn back in the basketball game. We saw him light up the twine from outside. Quadjay Witcher coming in with no jersey. He's going to put that on as he comes in. That's not something you see every day.
I was getting ready to say it's been a long time since I've seen that. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
I don't know either. Maybe it's the same numbers, so I don't know. Maybe he just took it off momentarily.
There was a kid in the Villanova game that came in the other day that threw off his warm-up jersey, and he didn't have his jersey on underneath.
Well, Witcher had his. He just had to throw it on as he was running the baseline to inbound it. Walker Allen back in the game as well for Chatham. With jersey on the entire time. Bobby Walker has it, hands it off to Quadjay Witcher. Now over to Ray Jiggets. Chatham basketball with 4:35 to play here. Long three ball on the way from Jiggets, no good. Rebound still loose, controlled by Juan Thornhill and the Altavista Colonels. He'll come the other way. 4.5 minutes to play here in the Apple Market third quarter. Juan, left-hand dribble. Lobs it into the corner to Michi Malback. Malback going to cycle it back out to the top. Thornhill looking inside. Another bounce pass to Michi. Michi, three ball on the way. Side of the iron, no good. Rebound still loose, controlled by Jiggets. Here comes Chatham in a hurry. 3-on-1. Jiggets left it from behind to Witcher. Witcher lost it momentarily, couldn't score it. Rebounded by Nelson Dews. Good job by Altavista to get back and stop points. Thornhill, quick pass to Malback. Malback driving left side of the lane. Gets it to go with the finger roll. Flashy there. Good play by Michi Malback on the finish.
Not only flashy, but strong with the ball when he came through those defenders.
Yep, Michi's headband got knocked around a little bit. He readjusts that. Altavista leads 40-29. Foul here on the basketball is going to go against Demetrius Johnson. Should be the Colonel's third of the half.
Interesting situation here in Chatham, like several of the Pennsylvania County schools, but we'll talk about that when we come back from break.
Timeout. Barry Mayo and the Chatham Cavaliers want to take one. We'll take it two. Colonels lead 40-29, 3:46 to play in the third quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
Tyree Little Heating and Cooling in Gretna, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter and comfortable in between.
Sharky's Pest Control. Let Tony take a bite out of your pest control needs. Doing business the old-fashioned way.
Main Street Trading Company Consignment, now open Wednesday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. till 4.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only at El Cerrito.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, priced right, financing available. That's Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street, Altavista.
There are two kinds of country, the good stuff and the real good stuff. We play them both. 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, Colonels score right out of the timeout there. Walker Allen, free throw line. Jump shot was good. Chatham basketball. Jiggett's head fake three. Now driving to the basket. Throws it up. He's fouled. Shot won't go in off the back of the iron. But he's headed to the free throw line to shoot a pair of freebies. 42-29. Altavista Colonels lead. They're really starting to stretch this lead out now, Oscar.
Yeah, they are. And before we went to break, talk about the situation you have at the Pennsylvania County schools with the way that the benches are set up. As some of the fans go by to get to the bleachers, they're walking in front of the bench. Steady parade in this quarter in front of the Altavista bench trying to get to the backside of those Chatham fans' stands. And it's a little bit disrupting to Coach Carvalho and his crew.
It is, and it's like you said, it's not just here at Chatham. It's really all three of the Pennsylvania County schools that Altavista plays at, Dan River, Chatham, and Gretna. There's a lot of fans, that walk around the court. Sometimes they walk on the court, and it can get kind of slippery because they're coming in from outside. You're tracking in the dust, the dirt, that kind of things. Heck, sometimes the snow and the rain even out there. None of that tonight as far as the snow goes, but there is some moisture. So when the fans walk on the court, then all of a sudden it comes off on the player's shoes, so sometimes the footing is not great. We've seen a couple guys slip and fall down.
2:49 remaining here in the third quarter. Colonels up 13.
Colonel basketball. Hubbard has it right in front of us. Colonels are going left to right now, and they're scoring here on this basket close to us. Kick ball on the Chatham Cavaliers, so it'll stay with the Altavista Colonels.
Resets the shot clock.
Yeah. Inside joke there. No shot clock in VHSL high school basketball action. Not yet anyway, although people want it. Bounce pass inbound to Darius Johnson. Johnson double team, and they're going to call it jump ball. Not your usual jump ball situation there. Bit of a tie-up and possession arrow. Who are we going with here? Maybe Chatham basketball after the jump ball. 2:38 to play now. Third quarter action here from Chatham. Altavista Colonels leading the Cavaliers 40-29. Basketball thrown away by Chatham. It'll go back to Altavista on the turnover.
They're going to say it was tipped, and there was no way that ball was tipped.
So basketball will stay with Chatham. Colonel fans obviously didn't agree. Colonel's got a pretty decent crowd that they brought down here. Again, not a long trip down 29.
No, and the Colonels travel well.
Yeah.
They have for some time.
Absolutely. Malbeck really harassing Jiggets as Jiggets got it inbounds. Coburn, quick three from the left wing. Good. Coburn has shown a nice touch from the perimeter. Knocks down another three-pointer there for Chatham. 42-31. Altavista leading. Looks like to me, Oscar, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, it looks like Chatham is in a box and one with Coburn guarding Thornhill. One guy at each corner of the paint right now. That's what I'm seeing anyway.
Boy, and Coburn's riding him like a pony, too.
Yeah, he's right on him. Full contact the whole time. Got one hand on him. Malbeck, long two-pointer on the way. He's fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. Shot was no good. It was just a step inside the three-point line. And you're right. Coburn has got one hand on Thornhill at all times. And, basketball is supposed to be non-contact, but we all know it's 2014. That's legal. You can put a hand on a guy.
And there was a little bit of confusion on the Chatham defense that time, and you're absolutely right, because Coburn just said, we're in a box and one, and I'm on two.
Yeah.
Of course, number two referring to Juan Thornhill.
Well, you used to see that some back in the Kenny Hunt days. Guys would try to play the box and one on Mr. Hunt. I'm not trying to think back anyway and remember if it's been played on anybody else on Altavista. Maybe Mike Poindexter there for a while, but tell you, not the worst strategy in the world against Thornhill. I'm going to be honest with you on that.
No, and there's always a surprise factor because it's just something you don't see week in, week out.
Yeah. Lane violation, I think, on the missed free throw, and I think Michi Malbeck is going to get to shoot it again. They're going to say lane violation on Chatham. Yeah, they left too early. There is a surprise factor with the box and one because, what offense do you run against? It's not exactly something you practice against. And it's sort of that hybrid, you know, it's a man and it's a zone. So what do? You run your man offense, you run your zone offense. And what do you do about the guy who's got the one guy on him? Second free throw goes in, so Michi Malbeck makes good on the extra opportunity there because of the lane violation. 44-31, Altavista leading. Under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Jiggets takes the handoff, tries to go to the basket, and he is denied. Blocked by Darius Johnson. Here comes Chatham. Here comes Altavista. Hesitation from Malbeck, then he leaves it off for Darius. Darius converts to 6-footer, middle of the lane, 46-31. Altavista really on a run now. Chatham could use some points again. Coburn in the corner now over to Witcher, taken away. Michi Malbeck, now he lost it. He had the steal momentarily. Jiggets got back around to it. Jiggets throws the ball over his head, puts up a scooping layup. Won't go in. He'll go back to the free throw line. Man, Jiggets is impressive with how quick he is, and he can shoot the three-pointer, too. That's a rare combination of somebody that can shoot so well and can slash the lane that quickly.
Well, nice job by H.F. Haymore here officiating. One of the players has gotten a little upset, and he's calmed him down. And interesting that we talk about the boxing one on Thornhill. Juan, with only 7 points tonight, he hasn't been the main threat from the Colonels.
Yeah, you're right. It's interesting. And, you know, just because he hasn't had he's only had 7 points. Let me collect my thoughts here. Easy for me to say, right? Just because Juan's only had 7 points doesn't mean he's not still facilitating the offense. So, I don't know. Maybe Barry Mayo wants to change it up, try the boxing one. Certainly the regular 2-3 zone, maybe not working as well. And now Barry Mayo wants another timeout after the made free throw. We'll take the timeout with him. 30-second variety. 46-33. Altavista leads. 1:22 to play here in the third quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
For more than 103 years, we've offered special banking assistance to many nonprofit organizations. I'm Kathy Morgan with First National Bank, and we have a checking account just for nonprofits and faith-based organizations that has no minimum balance requirement and no monthly maintenance fee. We also specialize in offering financing when your group needs a loan. So come see us at First National Bank, and we'll provide your organization with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here, Chatham High School. Colonels lead 46-33. Always fun to come down to downtown Tight Squeeze. See a lot of faces that we know, and heck, faces we don't know are always friendly down here as well. That's the great thing. You know, we've talked about it. Where do we not like going?
I can't think of a place.
Hayside was kind of a long ride,
well,
but
you know what?
It was a fun time, yeah.
It was a blast.
And, of course, if you're not a football fan, we're talking about the Colonels' state semifinal trip down to Hayside, Virginia. Pretty far west, but we made it work out. It was a good time. Thornhill, go ahead.
Nothing like a Tiger Taco.
That's exactly right. Thornhill was running the baseline there after the made free throw, and Altavista trying to get it in bounds. And you're going to get a foul against the Chatham Cavaliers. I believe that was on Coburn.
And pretty stark contrast to what was called in the first half. Only 14 fouls on both teams so far here in the third quarter.
Thornhill kind of got behind the defense there, and then Bobby Walker recovered. Spin move from Juan Thornhill. Hanging jumper wouldn't go in. Rebound still loose. Ripped away by Chiron Smith. Smith wants to run the fast break himself. He is fouled by Demetrius Johnson. And you're right, some of these fouls maybe not called as tightly in the first half. Referee's starting to tighten up just a bit here with the whistles.
That's an interesting foul on Demetrius. Demetrius was actually running away from the player, and the player ran into him.
Yeah.
But anyway, foul on Demetrius. Colonels lead 46-33, 1:11 remaining here in the third quarter.
Jiggets gets it inbounds after the lob pass, and he is again guarded tightly by Michi Malbeck. That's been a fun battle to watch all game. They fake the handoff. Now Smith rolls the basket. Throws up a wild shot attempt, but he was fouled, so that might have been part of the reason why it looks so funny. And he'll go to the free throw line and shoot two. Shot would not go in.
And for the second time this quarter, Coach Cardellaro has begged his bench to say, guys, stay on the floor. Don't go up in the air.
Yeah, it's interesting. 6 fouls this half against Altavista, just 4 on Chatham. So maybe that was a point of emphasis for Coach Mayo and his squad in the locker room is, hey, guys, we cannot foul so much. Because they have done better about that.
Smith with 3 and Quadjay Witcher with 3 are really the only 2 that are in any kind of trouble.
Yep. 33-46, Chatham trails. Second free throw is good by Chiron Smith. So it makes it a 46-34 Altavista lead now. And again, whether you're listening to us at kdcountry.com or on 105.5, we really appreciate it. Oscar, we're close to, I think, 800 likes on the KD Country Facebook page, so make sure you like us on there. Tell your friends if they don't like us. Long outlet pass. We'll get back to that in a second. Michi Malbeck caught it in midair. Jiggets kind of came down under him and fouled him. Ray Jiggets can't believe it, but that's the right call there. You can't impede the guy as he's coming down, particularly when that guy has the basketball like Michi Malbeck did.
But the most disappointed person in the building on that play was Demetrius Johnson, because he was ahead of both of those players, and if Michi had come down with the ball, it was going to be a thunder.
Yeah, it really was. We hadn't seen a dunk so far tonight. Saw a couple of them Saturday, including one big one-handed alley-oop jam from Juan Thornhill. Boy, Colonel's lost the basketball trying to get it in bounds. Nice defense from Chatham there, and it'll be a turnover. Cavaliers will take over with 60 seconds to play here in the Apple Market third quarter.
Demetrius a little bit out of sync this quarter.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe it's the tough Chatham defense. Maybe it's the ride. Who knows? Foul going to go against the Altavista Colonels here. That one's on Darius Johnson. Fouled his man right there at the free throw line. 52 seconds now.
That should be a 1-and-1. This 17th foul against the Colonels.
Yeah, they were going to the baseline, or excuse me, they're going to the sideline to inbound it, but then the referees looked at the scoreboard. 1-on-1 situation. It'll be Josh Jones on the free throw line for Chatham. Chatham hasn't been there nearly as much as Altavista, but they have been okay when they've been there.
And, Colonel's up by 12. 52 seconds remain here in third quarter. No way is Chatham out of this ball game.
Not at all. Johnson scores the first one. 11-point deficit now for Chatham. On the court right now for Altavista, it's the starters. The brothers Johnson, Darius and Demetrius, Richard Hubbard, Michi Malbeck, and Juan Thornhill. Second one on the way from Johnson. Back iron, no good. Good rebound by Darius Johnson on the low block to pull it in. Full court pressure now from Chatham. Thornhill picks up the dribble, gets it to Demetrius at half court, then over to Richard Hubbard. They break the timeline. They'll swing it back out to Juan Thornhill. Looks like Chatham's in a man-to-man defense now, though, so we've seen a bunch of different looks defensively from Coach Mayo's squad.
This is the first time we've seen man, and that's a mismatch.
Yep. Thornhill picks up the dribble, kicks it to Michi Malbeck. Demetrius Johnson inside the brother Darius, couldn't handle it. Taken over by Chatham. Coburn was there for the steal. Coburn going to get it up now. He's double-teamed momentarily. Got to pass it to Bobby Walker. Walker will break the timeline. Altavista gambled on some steals. Here comes Witcher driving to the lane. Boy, long strides there from Witcher. He covered some ground in a hurry and really got to the front of the rim nicely. Thornhill, pull up three. Backboard wouldn't go in. Buzzer sounds. That'll end the third quarter. Altavista, they've had the lead cut into, but they're still up 46-37. One more quarter of regulation here when we come back on 105.5 KD Country.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
51 years of high school sports on 105.5 KD Country. 51 years of pretty good basketball and football we've been watching on the airwaves, Oscar. Seeing a good one here tonight. 9-point Colonel advantage. Feels a little bit closer of a ball game than that.
Well, leading 29-22 at the half, leading by 7. Colonel's outscored Chatham 17-15 that quarter, and I think the lead was as big as 13 at one point, and Chatham's trimmed it back to 9, picked up the intensity a little bit. Colonels are having a tough time hanging on to the ball, and you got to attribute some of that to the Chatham defense.
Chatham defense has been good, been pretty stifling, and you mentioned it. Darius and Demetrius Johnson, maybe not their normal selves. I mean, you can't expect 35 points every night like Darius had the other night, and I think both Johnson brothers were in double digits in rebounds the other night. That's a different kind of a game, though, Saturday against Stewart's Draft, a 100-point game. Altavista gets it inbounds. They caught Chatham napping a little bit, and Darius, maybe he heard me, scored the bucket, and he's fouled, going to the free throw line to a chance to cash in on the three-point play here.
Yeah, it was, and of course the feed came from Demetrius, so the brothers Johnson on the hook up there. Darius trying to convert on the three-point play, and he does.
Free throw good. Nice job. Great way for Altavista to come out and start that fourth quarter. They lead 49-37. They've stretched the lead back out. 7:50 to play now. Chatham basketball. Smith going to try and take it low block. Fadeaway jumper coming. No good. Rebounded by Darius Johnson. Then he just bounce passes it to Juan Thornhill. Thornhill guarded closely by Josh Jones. He'll trot it up the court. Shake and bake move. Headed middle of the lane. Pulls up. Now will kick it back out to Michi Malbeck. 35 feet away from the basket. Michi will reset the offense right to half-court circle. Demetrius Johnson was left alone. Somebody forgot that they were guarding him, but Altavista couldn't get him the basketball. Now to Darius, low block. Got it poked away. Boy, going to go to Chatham there. It looks like it should have been off the Cavaliers if they knocked it away, huh? But we've got a good view right here, though. Maybe you can even hear the crowd, perhaps even Coach Cardellaro at home on your radio. 49-37. Altavista leading Chatham basketball. Top of the key, Jones going to shoot a 17-footer. No good, rebounds loose. Malbeck and Witcher fighting for it. They're still fighting for it after the whistle. That brings a little excitement from the crowd. Nothing malicious there. Guys are just playing hard. And maybe they didn't want to stop once the whistle sounded.
No, absolutely nothing malicious there. Both kids fighting for the ball. Both kids wanted the ball.
Crowd really getting into it. I think cooler heads on the court prevailing. I think the players were all pretty calm there. It was mainly the crowd that got fired
up. Nice job by the officials getting those players apart and keeping calm.
Yeah, no need for a technical foul there or anything like that. 49-37. It is still Chatham basketball after the jump ball situation. High pressure, man-to-man defense from Altavista.
Boy, Coburn just did a bull rush on Richard Hubbard. I mean, absolutely bull rushed him with a pick.
Basketball got thrown away. Coburn with the hard pick. Thornhill almost got the steal, but he couldn't control it, and the basketball is going to go back to Chatham. An official talking to Coburn a little bit.
He's talking to both teams.
Now, sometimes I question. I like talking to him initially, but if you've talked to him a few times, if you've given a good hard warning, eventually we're going to have to throw out a foul here at some point. Jiggets fakes the three, pulls up for a long two, count out. Great shot by Ray Jiggets and the pump fake on the three. Long two, it's a 10-point basketball game now. Chatham's got some momentum. They got the crowd back into it, whether it was some of the pushing and shoving going on or just a nice long jump shot from Jiggets, maybe a combination of both.
I think it was a combination of both. Kyle, good call.
6.5 to play. Thornhill controlling crossover dribble. He's guarded by Chiron Smith. He hands it over to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard in the corner to Darius Johnson. Foul away from the basketball. Technical foul, and it's going to be on Richard Hubbard. He and Coburn were still going at it. Hubbard can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. I was a pretty good view from here. I can't believe it either.
That'll get the Chatham crowd fired up even more. But it should be foul shots. It's a technical foul, right? It's not just going to be an inbound. Okay, one official was signaling that they're going to inbound. If you call a technical foul, it's 2 foul shots.
Unless they call it offset. I mean,
okay.
They call double technical.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what's happened. They've called a technical foul on Cody Coburn as well. You're right. That's exactly what happened. Official explaining it to Coach Mike Cardellaro now. Crowd is into it. Altavista is going to keep possession on the double technical. Malbeck to inbound.
Boy, I saw him call it on Hubbard, but I didn't see the other one. That has to be what it is.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Referee didn't exactly signal very clearly, but that's exactly what it is. They'll offset. Colonel basketball, they lead by 10. Malbeck driving the lane. He's fouled by Coburn, and Malbeck will go to the free throw line. Shot never even got to the rim. And Coach Cardellaro telling his guys, keep your cool. Barry Mayo, I'm sure, saying the same thing, maybe just different wording. But, they were going at it. They were playing hard. No doubt about that, Oscar. And maybe it's just like we said. You've warned him once. You've given him the hard warning. Now it's time to call a technical foul, and that's exactly what happened. First free throw good by Michi Malbeck. 50-39 now, Colonel's lead.
Well, and if you're Coach Mayo, you want your kids to be physical. You want to scrap. You want to disrupt Altavista's rhythm. Being physical, nothing dirty that I've seen so far.
Yeah. It's been good, hard physical play. There's a line there. I don't know that the line has been crossed by either team. Certainly not the most physical game we've ever seen.
No.
By far. And I think for the most part, everybody's pretty good sportsmen on that court there. We've seen a lot of guys helping the other team up, that kind of thing. Jiggets, long three on the way, no good. It was actually an air ball rebounded by Darius Johnson. Here come the Colonels. Michi Malbeck weaving his way in and out of traffic. Dish to Demetrius. Demetrius blocked, but they're going to say he's fouled. and he is fouled on Bobby Walker. He's fouled by Bobby Walker.
Boy, what a nice no-look by Michi on that.
Yeah.
Drew the defender, little shovel, no-look pass down to Johnson, heading down towards the bucket. Nice job.
Yeah, Michi was down low to the ground, weaving in his way in and out of a maze of defenders. And then the no-look dish to Demetrius Johnson, who was fouled. Free throw attempts coming right now. Front iron, no good. 5:49 to play in the Apple Market fourth quarter. Everybody at Apple Market always performs like it's the fourth quarter. They never have a problem rising to the occasion. Second free throw is converted by Demetrius, so he cashes in on 1 of 2, and here come the Chatham Cavaliers again. 52-39, Altavista leads in a game that has been closely contested and had some emotions, too. Big block. Here comes the run out. Thornhill to Demetrius. One with the jam, and he's fouled. Juan Thornhill came down the right side of the lane and banged one home for 2 on the dunks. Altavista fans are pumped. And I'll tell you what, Oscar, I know the Chatham fans are into this one and they want to see their ball club win, but a few of them even jumped up to their feet and said, good Lord, Juan Thornhill with the jam.
Boy, he elevated. He took off at about the volleyball back line. Referees telling the Altavista bench to calm down a little bit.
Took off from a good 9 or 10 feet away. Big jam there. Juan smiling about that one. Thornhill taking flight. Altavista leading 55-39. He converts the free throw for the three-point play.
Boy, and
Chatham going to need to answer, and then we get a stop and play. I think either the scoreboard is not right. The clock is running, and they're going to run down some time, I believe.
Ran 5 seconds off.
Yeah. Coach Mayo there at the scorer's table. Coach Cardellaro was telling the official, and the official's got it straight. It's going to be Chatham basketball.
Boy, what a nice dunk by Juan.
Yeah.
And he had Demetrius with him. Either one of those could have gotten it.
Yeah. It was a 2-on-1 run out. Actually, it was a 2-on-0, and then Chatham had to close down quickly. Jiggets gets it on the inbounds. It is Chatham basketball after the brief stop and play to reset the clock. 5.5 minutes to play in the ballgame.
And it wasn't like the dunk was uncontested.
Exactly. Coburn, left-hand dribble, passes to Smith. Smith, running layup attempt, no good. Ball still loose, knocked out of bounds. No, Darius saves it in bounds. Colonel basketball, Darius bringing it up with the dribble. Thornhill, lob pass, middle of the lane is deflected. Hubbard gets there, puts up the layup, won't go in. Demetrius gets the rebound, and he is fouled. Demetrius Johnson headed to the free throw line to shoot 2. Shot was no good. Interesting play. The ball got deflected by Chatham. Richard Hubbard was there. Kind of had an uncontested layup, but couldn't get it to go in, and then Demetrius Johnson got that rebound. 5:01 to play. Colonel's lead 55-39.
Boy, and that's Sharon Smith's 4th foul. And, we've watched him for several years now, and of course they've got to make a trip to Altavista, but it's going to be. I hate to see him leave.
Yeah, you're right. This is really. We talk about how much fun Altavista is to watch. Chatham's pretty fun to watch too. They get up and down the court. They got some athletes that can play.
Not just basketball for Chatham, of course football as well. And he's been a heck of an athlete here at Chatham.
And they are hard-nosed. I'll tell you, Mr. H.F. Haymore, the official, classy as they come. He's as hard-nosed as they come, too. Now, he's a great guy. Rebounded by the aforementioned Chiron Smith. He was double-teamed briefly. Now he gets rid of the Jiggets. Jiggets, quick pass to Coburn on the running layup. Won't go in. It's rebounded by Jones. Blocked away by Darius Johnson. Whoa, big block right there. Demetrius has it now, and he's fouled by Chiron Smith. So that's probably going to be 5. That's probably going to be 5 fouls on Chiron Smith. Ball got stuck in the rim briefly.
That's the 3rd time we've seen it wedged.
Yeah.
How about that?
See if this is 5 on Mr. Smith. It is. The signal is given. An early exit for Chiron Smith. Played a nice basketball game. He was the early spark. He had that 4-0 run to start things for Chatham. They'll have to go the rest of the game without him. They trail 56-39 to Demetrius Johnson. Going to shoot some more free throws. Colonel's in the double bonus now. 2 on the way from Demetrius. First one's up and good off back iron.
3rd free throw of the quarter for Demetrius.
On the court right now for the Altavista Colonels. Darius Johnson, Demetrius Johnson, Walker Allen. Those are the 3 guys in the lane. Michi Malbeck and Juan Thornhill are in the backcourt. Second free throw, good. Rod Taylor will inbound it quickly for Chatham. They've really got to go. They trail 58-39. 19-point deficit now. Still feels closer than that. Turnover. Oh, and then a behind-the-back pass from Demetrius to Darius. And he's fouled And they are going to call it an intentional foul. They're going to get Rod Taylor on that one.
Yeah, he hip-checked him. He hip-checked him into the wall. Might have called icing as well.
Was sort of a hockey-style play, and Darius Johnson will get a chance to shoot the free throws with nobody in the lane with him. Altavista got the steal. Brother Demetrius threw it behind his back, no look to brother Darius, who was streaking down the other way. It wasn't the best pass in the world, but it was certainly fun to watch. First free throw, back iron, and no good. Second one on the way, and then the Colonels will have the basketball.
Well, you just never know what you're going to see with this group of athletes from Altavista.
Yeah, you don't. And they've been playing together so long, too, that the chemistry is there as well. That helps facilitate some of that fun stuff, whether it's the behind-the-back pass or the lob dunk. That kind of stuff.
And, you know, a lot of times you run into egos with a situation like this. If there are egos, they're equal, because this is a very, very unselfish team.
Yeah.
They look out for each other. Very, very unselfish.
Team first mentality for sure. Hubbard spotting up for three right in front of us. Side of the iron, no good. Actually hit the backboard, too. Rebounded by the Chatham Cavaliers. Chatham down 20. They get it quickly to Jones, then in the corner. Three ball on the way attempt from them. Side of the iron, no good. Rebound by Michi Malback in the Altavista Colonels. He's double teamed, going to have to get rid of it, or maybe a timeout. Coach Carlero wants the timeout. Did they give it to him? No, they didn't. They said Michi Malback stepped out of bounds.
And 4:20 remaining here. Colonels lead 59-39. If you don't get the timeout, if you have a turnover, it's not going to be a turning point in this ball game, I don't think.
Not the end of the world there. It will be a Chatham basketball on the turnover. Good opportunistic defense by them as they double-teamed Michi. He really got caught in a bad spot near that sideline. Coburn has it, and he lost it. Taken away by Richard Hubbard. Hubbard lost it, then he left it. I'm going to say back court.
But it's not. It went off the other player's foot. It went off the Chatham player's foot, so it's not backcourt according to the rules. But according to the official, it is going to be backcourt.
Yeah. So back-to-back turnovers there for the Colonels, and back-to-back weird plays. Maybe they could have gone either way. Chatham will inbound it again. 4:13 to play. Colonels are up by 20. But again, I hate to beat a dead horse. It definitely feels closer than that. And take away by Michi Malback. Malback with the run out. He's thinking about a dunk. Just goes with the finger roll. Thornhill was there for the finish if it didn't go in, but Michi got it to go on the first attempt. Colonels extending the lead now. 61-39 is their lead now. Jiggett, shake and bake move down to Bobby Walker in the corner. No good. Air ball rebounded by Richard Hubbard. Nothing going Chatham's way now. Demetrius getting it very quickly. Extra step, maybe not. Count the bucket, no whistle. Chatham really behind the 8-ball momentum-wise now. Got to give the Altavista Colonels a lot of credit for stretching this lead out, Oscar.
And what was a tight ball game is blown wide open now. And you got to credit the Colonels' defense.
Yeah.
And what was clearly not their best night of basketball, they've stuck to it, stuck to their game plan, played defense, hit the boards hard, and competed.
Could not agree more. Officials having some discussions with not just Barry Mayo, but really the entire Chatham team now. I don't know if they called a timeout or what. Let's just keep it here. I think it's a 30-second timeout. Maybe Coach Carlero throwing up his hands. He doesn't know, but we will keep it right here, Oscar. 63-29.
Could it be a TV timeout, Kyle?
Could be a TV timeout. I didn't see the guy come out and hold up the sign. I realized I misspoke. The Altavista lead is 63-39. Not our cleanest basketball game of the evening. Of the season. See, I messed up again.
But as always, it's fun.
It is fun.
It's fun to be able to watch this group of athletes. Altavista, of course, defending state champions.
Yeah. Well, it's also, makes it even more fun when the Colonels take on, a good opponent. And definitely the Cavaliers fall into that category. Game and ready here tonight. Maybe they just couldn't sustain it. Maybe it's the Colonels' conditioning, Oscar. It looked like first quarter there that Chatham was the faster and more physical team, but since then, the Colonels have really flipped that script, and it's been the other way around, so maybe you got to credit the legs there a little bit of Altavista.
And the Colonels never panicked. I mean, they were down and stayed to it, never panicked. Again, not playing very good basketball at all in the first quarter.
They really have picked that up, and second, third, and fourth quarters have been all Altavista. Well, not all Altavista all the time, but for the most part, it's been going the Colonels' way. Jiggett sank his first free throw. Second one on the way is good as well. Makes it 63-41. Long baseball pass to Thornhill. He got behind the defense. Look out again. Gives it to Darius Johnson. Oh, and Darius comes from behind with a two-handed jam. I thought it was Demetrius, but then I realized it was brother Darius on the slam. Air ball from Ray Jiggets. This basketball going back to Altavista, and the Colonels have firmly got things in control now.
Well, and let's give a little credit to Juan, because Juan did a little no-look shovel pass, too. Juan had the opportunity to go up for the dunk. 2-on-1 situation, little head fake, shovel pass to Johnson, who two-hand slam.
Juan got behind the defense. The defender tried to recover, and like you said, little no-look back to Darius Johnson, who was trailing with the two-handed power dunk. 65-41. Colonel lead their basketball. Another long baseball pass. Thornhill has it. Look out below. Oh, he missed that dunk. Coburn will take over. That gets some delight from the Chatham crowd. And at this point, with their team really behind the 8 ball, that's about the only thing they do have to cheer about, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, the biggest smile on the court right now is Juan Thornhill.
Yeah, Thornhill maybe a little out of his range on the dunk there. Quick layup on the other side by Quajay Witcher. And Coach Barry Mayo wants a timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout with him. Colonels lead 65-43, just over 3 minutes to play here in the game on 105.5 KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
65-43, Altavista leading in Chatham here tonight. 3-game week again for the Altavista Colonels. They take on Brookville at home Thursday. A lot of intriguing storylines there. We'll talk about that in the Subway postgame show. And then back to Goochland, trying to avenge an early season defeat on Saturday. I'd say a matinee. I think I want to say a 3 o'clock start, maybe something like that, Oscar. We'll give you the details.
It's 5:15.
We'll get to details soon enough.
Colonels have outscored Chatham 19-6 here in the fourth quarter, Kyle. And, you know, when push came to shove, Colonels really knuckled down and took control of this ball game.
Yeah, Cream really rising to the top. Nothing has gone Chatham's way, though, in this fourth quarter. And credit the Altavista D and offense for a big part of that. Michi Malback gets it inbounds, going up the right sideline. Now weaving his way in out of traffic in the lane. Lost it, going for his own rebound. Saved back inbounds by Chatham. Nice play there by Witcher. Coburn has it. Trying to get it to Jones. They got going too fast, and Demetrius Johnson comes away with it. Now up to brother Darius. Darius going to wisely slow it down here and sort of reset things. Back to Juan Thornhill. Man-to-man defense from Chatham. Motion offense from the Colonels. They got their starters in there. Thornhill, Malback, Hubbard, and both Johnson brothers. Extra step by Demetrius Johnson. They're going to call him for the travel. Caught it right there at the foul line, and he did stutter step before taking that dribble. Rod Taylor checking in the basketball game for the Cavaliers. 65-43 is your Altavista lead right now with 2.5 to play. Cavs get it in quick. Back to Jiggets. Jiggets, 27 feet away from the basket. Now more like 30. I don't know where I got 27 feet from, Oscar, but it looked like a good guess anyway. Walker has it in the far corner from us. Back to Jiggets, middle of the court. Pump fake. Jiggets driving, took on Juan Thornhill and got fouled. No, they're going to say Thornhill took the charge. Great job by Juan getting the feet set right there, taking the contact. Basketball going back to Altavista.
Yeah, on the player control foul, ball does stay with the Colonels. And again, nice job by Juan. Coach Cordillero had told him to stay on the ground, and he did. 5
fouls on Ray Jiggets. So his night will end a little bit early as well.
And great effort from him tonight.
Yeah.
Great effort from Jiggets tonight.
Fantastic player and easily one of the best in the district. Well, there's not really a district anymore, but he's one of the best around. How about that? Let's put it that way.
That's fair enough. And I'm not sure Chatham's in conference 43, maybe
416. I think so. Who knows? Substitutes coming in the basketball game now for Altavista. That's Canavis Jones and Nelson Dews. Now also Josh McClure checking in the basketball game. His first action of the night.
Yeah, and Coach Carlo didn't go quite as deep in the bench as he has in some of the earlier games tonight. And still, the condition of the Altavista's top 7 was more than enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And, pace of play, way the game goes dictates that. Michi Malback out of the game now, getting a nice hand from some guys. Demetrius Johnson as well. Right here in front of us. Davy Jones to inbound for the Altavista Colonels. Gets into the Darius Johnson, who was double-teamed, back to Navy Jones. Jones splitting the defense, racing it up the court. He's fouled. Hip check again. Love the hockey references. By Quadjay Witcher, and Navy Jones will head to the free throw stripe to shoot a pair. Colonel's still up 18, 2:10 to play in the Apple Market fourth quarter.
And again, Navy Jones with a ton of speed in his own right.
Yes.
And of course, he's a sophomore.
Yeah, that's a good point to note. McClure out there, just a freshman. Walker Allen, who's checking in. That's Dylan Allen checking in the game. They're easy to get confused. They're not twins like the Johnson brothers, but they definitely look alike.
Boy, they are absolutely similar.
And I'll tell you, the Witcher brothers for Chatham, they're not twins either, but they look alike. Loose ball, got saved back in by Chatham, still loose. Mad scrum for it, bunch of bodies on the ground. Rod Taylor falls on it and calls the timeout. Wise play there, though. Of course, you got to question how necessary it is with the 22-point deficit, but you can't fault Taylor for playing hard.
No, but you can fault Juan Thornhill for diving over top of him with a 22-point lead. But that's the type of athlete that these kids are. This Chatham Altavista bunch, hustle, hustle, hustle. They never say die.
Yep, 1 minute timeout. We'll take 30 seconds of it. Colonel's up by 22. Just under 2 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
65-43. It's an Altavista Colonel lead. 2:02 to play here in the fourth quarter from Chatham High School. Cavaliers will inbound on the far sideline. And probably playing more for pride now at this point, Oscar, rather than the actual.
Builds character, teaches teamwork, and provides a solid foundation for life. PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this sports broadcast for your enjoyment. PCM Industrial Services encourages everyone to come on out and watch the game. It's a great time for the whole family. Cheer on the Colonels. PCM Industrial Services, the industrial maintenance and construction specialists, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality craftsmen since 1986. Good luck, Colonels.
This week's specials from your Apple Market convenience stores. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, 2 liters, 2 for $3. 5-hour energy drinks, now 2 for $5. Delicious chicken tender biscuits, 2 for $2.49. And be sure to try Apple Market's new roller grill products featuring Johnsonville brass. Apple Market locations, Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street in Altavista. You know what they say, an apple a day.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista. Tonight's game is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
Tyree Little Heating and Cooling in Gretna, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter and comfortable in between.
Sharky's Pest Control. Let Tony take a bite out of your pest control needs. Doing business the old-fashioned way.
Main Street Trading Company Consignment, now open Wednesday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. till 4.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only at El Cerrito's.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, priced right, financing available. That's Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Chatham High School, 68-44 Colonels lead. Still 40 seconds left to play in the basketball game. Chatham with a layup there, Quadre Witcher. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We're not immune to that, Oscar Briggs.
No, we're not.
Our technology has worked very good all night, but not immune to interruptions in internet service. Navy Jones with the basketball. I think you missed a great individual effort by Navy Jones, a little spin move and then attacking the basket right after he got an offensive rebound. Jones got the basketball again. We'll get a chance to revisit some of that stuff in the Subway postgame show. 12 seconds left in the ball game. Jones just going to run it out, pass it to McClure. Colonels don't want to shoot. Foul away from the basketball there by Josh Jones, and you could argue that was an intentional foul, but he just kind of grabbed a hold of McClure's jersey. McClure will get a chance to add to the Colonels' point total and perhaps get them to the 70-point mark. 6 seconds to play in the basketball game.
And I appreciate the crew's done a good job of keeping control of the ball game tonight.
They have, and it hasn't been an easy one to call. There's been some back-and-forth stuff and some emotional moments, although, like I said, cooler heads for the most part prevailed. You saw a lot of nice acts of sportsmanship there by both clubs. I don't think either of these two teams hate each other. It's just they're playing hard. They want to get the win. They're both very competitive. Both free throws go in by McClure. Colonel's got 70. Chatham has 46. Last second shot on the way from Coburn. No good. Here's the final buzzer. Altavista, a winner, 70-46. Come on back for the Subway postgame show and hear about it all on 105.5 KD Country.
Don't you think it's time that your business account made you money? I'm Marion Marshall with First National Bank, and we've introduced a small business interest checking account that earns your business interest. That's right, interest. So for a progressive small business checking account, come to First National Bank today. We'll show how your business account will earn interest, and we'll provide you with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonel's the big winner here tonight down in Chatham over the Cavaliers in the Subway postgame show. Subway Eat Fresh, Genuine, every foot long pretty much is $5, Oscar. I wrote down a couple of my favorites here just so you know. The Italian BMT, Meatball Marinara, Subway Club, Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki,
Subway Melt.
Subway Melt. Good call, you. Good call, you. That's what we pay the big O for. And, boy, the Colonels, big winner here tonight, 70-46 over the Chatham Cavaliers, a game that was very, very close for a while, and fans definitely got their money's worth in this one. I'll tell you what, let's say this, Oscar, as we kick off the Subway postgame show. to only score 3 points in the first quarter like Altavista did, then come back and score 70. So you scored 67 in 3 quarters. Pretty doggone good pace.
It is, and 41 in the second half. And again, it wasn't the best offensive effort by the Colonels. And we credit Chatham's defense in the first half. It was very physical. They set up in that 1-3-1. They were trapping. Really disrupted what the Colonels wanted to do. The Colonels stayed patient, stayed with it, hit the boards hard, and really, outscoring the Chatham 26-12 in that second quarter was big.
Second quarter was huge. The outstanding athletic director, Dean Hubbard, here, not joining us on the airs, but just kind of milling about and giving his perspective on the game. I forgot to give Mr. Ty Gafford a shout-out. We bumped into him in Subway, and I'll tell you what, as a outstanding all-around point guard back in the day at Appomattox High School, I mean, he had everything in his game. He had every shot in the bag, Oscar. The step-back three, the shake and bake with the crossover. I mean, he had it all, and he's just got the fearsome brown eyes too. So I mean, what are you going to do? He's a total package down there, Mr. Gafford.
Well, yeah, but he's a hacker on the golf course. So.
I didn't say that. Altavista Colonels, they didn't look like hacks tonight. They looked pretty doggone good. 70-46 win. Another time out here in the Subway postgame show. Then we're going to bring it all back with some final thoughts and some analysis. Make sure you stay tuned. You're hearing it all on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
High school athletics builds character, teaches teamwork, and provides a solid foundation for life. PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this sports broadcast for your enjoyment. PCM Industrial Services encourages everyone to come on out and watch the game. It's a great time for the whole family. Cheer on the Colonels. PCM Industrial Services, the industrial maintenance and construction specialists, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality craftsmen since 1986. Good luck, Colonels.
This week's specials from your Apple Market convenience stores. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, 2 liters, 2 for $3. 5-hour energy drinks, now 2 for $5. Delicious chicken tender biscuits, 2 for $2.49. And be sure to try Apple Market's new roller grill products featuring Johnsonville brats. Apple Market locations, Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street in Altavista. You know what they say, an apple a day.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
51 years of outstanding award-winning high school sports coverage on 105.5 KD Country, or with the miracle of technology at kdcountry.com. And like we said, we had a little bit of a interruption there in our broadcast because of some technical difficulties. Well, we got it back, and we feel like it sounded pretty good tonight. We mentioned that nice individual effort from Navy Jones. He got an offensive board there while you were gone, took it back out the perimeter, then slashed to the basket with a spin move and got fouled, went to the free throw line and knocked down both of them. But actually, other than that, you didn't miss a whole lot as far as that goes. If you tuned in late at any point during the game, good first quarter by Chatham. They really started out strong, a lot of intensity. Then sort of trailed off from there, and then Altavista Colonels really took over in the second half.
Yeah, they did. 10-3 in the first quarter. Chatham led. Altavista outscored Chatham 26-12 in the second to take a 29-22 lead into the halftime, Kyle. Coming out very tight third quarter. Colonels outscored Chatham 17-15, but in the fourth quarter, trailing by as many as 13, and then Altavista just turned it on. Outscored 24-9. Outscored the Cavaliers and resulted in the 70-46 score.
Yeah, great fourth quarter. One last time out here in the Subway pregame show. Then we're going to come back, wrap it all up. Players of the game, talk about Thursday, and put the finishing touches on this one. Altavista Colonels, big winner here, 70-46 over Chatham on 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Final thoughts on the Subway post-game show. Always got to eat fresh at Subway. And, again, Jan-U-Any. Pretty much everything's a $5 foot long this month. Hard to beat that. You can feed your appetite for real cheap. Another place you can do that is a KD Country Dollar Saver. Every Thursday, a different half-price deal, Oscar. It's not just food, but a lot of great food stuff on there as well. Final scoring totals for the evening.
Yeah, first for Chatham, total of 46. Jiggets with 16, the only player in double figures, Kyle. Roderick Taylor with 1, Cody Coburn with 9, Quadre Witcher with 8, Bobby Walker with 2, Sharon Smith with 7, total of 46. For the Colonels, Michi Mahalbeck led the way with 19, Thornhill with 10, Navy Jones with 1, Demetrius with 12, Darius Johnson with 14, Richard Hubbard with 1 3-pointer, Walker Allen with 5, Josh McClure with 4, and Nelson Dews with 2. 70 points for the Colonels. Players of the game.
Player of the game time is, I'm going to make it pretty easy. I'm going to knock out both in one shot because it's got a theme. These two guys went at each other all night. It's the two outstanding guards for each ball club. They both led their teams in scoring, but it's not just about scoring. I got to go with Ray Jiggets from Chatham and Michi Malbeck from Altavista. They were on each other all night in the man-to-man situations. Michi really did a nice job being all over Ray Jiggets and vice versa. So that's my selections there. Oscar's shaking his head. He's not happy. I think it's because I stole his picks right out from under.
Well, you did, and you know, maybe for the first time in player of the game history, it's going to be a double-double because you can't overlook both the job that both those kids did. I'm going to concur. Malbeck defensively, Jiggets defensively, the way they ran the offenses, you can't argue with it. Those were the two strongest players on the floor tonight.
Yeah, I think when both teams play an opponent and the opposing coach is scouting, both those guys are probably in the first sentence of the scouting report. With Altavista, obviously, you got a bunch of other weapons there as well. And same thing with Chatham, I would say. But Jiggett's probably maybe a higher percentage of scoring for Chatham. But I digress now. One last touch we got to put here is we got to talk about Thursday night. Colonel's back at home, taking on the Brookville Bees. JV start time 5:30. So make sure you listen to the Subway pregame show, probably on your airwaves around 6:45, 7 o'clock. That'll be fun. Former Colonel player Scott Jester at the helm for the Brookville Bees. So that's always an intriguing matchup. And it's the old county rivalry, like we always talk about. Lee Cameron, our producer back in home base, outstanding job as usual. He's always our player of the game. And the people we couldn't do without our fantastic sponsors. Apple Markets locations, Gateway, Main Street, and Riverside. PCM Industrial, providing maintenance, repair, and other plant services to industrial and utility clients since its founding in 1986. Tyree Little Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter. Give them a call today. English Construction Company, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Fellers Chevrolet, where a short drive will save you money. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, the happiest place in town. English is your complete home center. Headquarters for Davis Paint. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family-serving family since 1905. And, of course, the First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. That'll wrap it up for us from Chatham High School. Outstanding night here for the Altavista Colonels. They shook off a slow start, only scored 3 points in the first quarter. That didn't matter. They ended up winning by a bunch, 70-46. We'll talk to you Thursday night when the Bees from Brookville are in town. Till then, have a fantastic evening, everybody.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the Katy Country Sports Club.
Tyree Little Heating and Cooling in Gretna, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter and comfortable in between.
Sharky's Pest Control. Let Tony take a bite out of your pest control needs. Doing business the old-fashioned way.
Main Street Trading Company Consignment, now open Wednesday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. till 4.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only at El Cerrito.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, priced right, financing available. That's Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street, Altavista.